We are live, ladies and gentlemen. I'm probably going to be up and down because I got the computer back there. We should have our main computer fixed by tomorrow. Fingers crossed, because it has absolutely just destroyed everything. But we got some cool things to talk about today. One being a huge giveaway. I'm technically not supposed to talk about it till tomorrow, but I'll be sharing it tomorrow, but and telling you guys when the entry video will go up. But you see all these knives right here? There's 11 knives right here from Kaiser, and they are all bangers. Like, they threw in some bangers for you guys. Like, these aren't like their cheapest knives. These are like their best knives. Like, seriously, we got like the Militar. Wait, let me just look. We got a couple new ones too, like the Nice Guy. We got the Huntsman. We got the Veritas. We got, and then like a bunch of other like really good ones. You guys will see. Anyways, the point is that that's coming up soon, and all 11 knives will go to one person. So it'll be just one of you guys to win, which is pretty cool. I like doing those types of giveaways because, talk about a hell of a gift or a giveaway, to be able to not get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 knives, but get 11 knives. That's badass. Now I have a bunch of other things I do want to talk about, and I think we're going to do story time today, and I do have a banger fragrance that we're going to be talking about. A banger. I'm just trying to pull up the stream over here, so give me just 1 second. Sometimes it's a bitch for me to find. All right, here we go. But hopefully you guys are doing well tonight. I do have some knives I want to talk about. Like, here, let me show you this one. Check this out, guys. Before I show you guys this knife has been one of the most sought after Tucsons to ever exist. And what happened was it came out a few years ago or years ago, and then just disappeared, and nobody could ever get them again. And so then they were going on a secondary market for like really expensive, because it's actually a really good one. Like, this thing is just, it's so good. Go watch my review, because I do have a review on it. It's amazing. But here it is right here, and it's linked down in the description if you guys want to get one, because like I said, it is a banger. Come on. And this one's even better than the original, because it's the in 14C instead of D2. So that's awesome. But this knife, I'm telling you, man, it's such a good knife. The reverse flick, it's compact, but yet still, really ergonomic. And I actually searched for one. I would love to buy this thing right now. And if I didn't have all these computer issues right now, I promise you I'd be buying that, because I was literally about to pay like double that on the secondary market like last year just to get one, because it is really good. I just got a pair of 3 and 20 CV, and man, is the factory edge disappointing. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I will say this, I typically, most Spydercos to me actually come with really good edges as far as sharpness goes. I'm not saying like the quality of the grinds, or even, I'm not saying that, I'm saying the sharpness. Like, I think some of the sharpest knives from production companies that were belt sharpened and not stone sharpened, they've had the sharpest. Typically, I can take a Spyderco fresh out of the box and do like 1 to 2, maybe 3 passes per side on like a super fine diamond, and I'm talking about with very gentle pressure, and then strop, and that thing will be hair whittling. So, and there's times where you can just literally strop and it's hair whittling. But yeah, that's a really good one though. Where's your partner in crime? Oh, Marco, talking about. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. We don't have the bell out here, but Pacal's been a member for 12 months with the Benchmades. Bang! 12 months of knife collecting complete. Hell yeah. I bought that Tucson TS230. You want me to bring mine to Atlanta? Yeah, I mean, you're going, right? You are going? That's awesome, man. Hell yeah. Definitely. I'm glad you're going. Yeah, Ryan, that'd be awesome. I am doing a video soon, because I recently got a couple a couple knives that are like, you know, on another fucking league. And I'm probably, it's probably going to be, what? I'm not. What? No. Well, no. No. What? I'm not going to say what they are. But I'm not going to say what they are. I'm going to say that I'm probably going to be carrying these to Blade Show. And I'm probably going to be doing a video actually talking about that. Some sort of video, you know, with me acquiring these. But what is so funny over there?
I'm just laughing at what you're saying now because you realize what I meant.
New drop bears? Is there new drop bears? Or are you talking about the Kaisers? Ask Kara why she's so camera shy, Ryan says. There's your answer. Didn't she get some dental work done? Yeah, she actually went today. How'd you know that?
What the fuck?
Oh, I said it in a thing the other day. I said that you were having some serious, a serious tooth. She literally just got back. Yeah, that shit's always a nightmare, man. She's got, I think, one more appointment before we leave, so which is really good. It sucks going on like a trip or something with the risk of a toothache. Oh, Low Country Hillbilly with the 10 bones. Evening, big guy. Glad to see my regularly scheduled Neeves programming. Glad to heart you. What? Hear you two laughing. Hear you two laughing. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the 10 bones, man. Thank you so much for all the support. He's always supporting, man. Great supporter. Looks dope, but just bought, what is that? An Essex Silver Line Beer Buster? Oh, okay. In Black Micarta. Oh, it's a junior in Black Micarta. Flipper version for 100 bones. Re-at made. That's dope. Hell yeah. Oh, you just ordered that too, son? I hope you use my damn link, Michael. Haha, hell yeah. Yeah, dude, it's a good one. You're going to be really happy. That thing has like such a good reverse flicking action. And when if you watch it, what?
Is there any info on if it's changed at all though?
The steel has changed. And then it looks like the texturing on the handle might be.
Was the old one M390 or 14?
Actually, you know what? I think no, the texturing is still the same. It's the same.
Was the old one M390 or 14?
No, it was D2.
It was D2?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Tucson with the king of D2.
Yeah, well, they still kind of. Well, now they're doing 14C, which is good to see. But you know what though? That knife, man, if you watch my review on it, you'll see like that thing has like this type of glassy smoothness that you never really seen from Tucson, except for like some small examples or like way after a knife broke in or something like that. Typically you would get that it sounded like that when you'd open their knives, and the reason why is because they're set and finish. They wouldn't have a detent track. Yeah.
No, you made it with your mouth.
No, I did that.
You said something.
So it in order for it to break in a detent track, it would have to break into the satin. So you typically hear that sound for the first couple weeks, but that one was just so glassy. Popsicle? What the hell? Yeah, the zipper.
The fucking zipper?
Yeah. No, but there were so many of them like that.
What did you do with ours?
Which one?
Did we give it away?
Yeah.
Oh, the zipper.
I got one right here that I almost never talk about, and it's because it was in my Tucson pouch, you know, and I haven't busted it out in a while. But this actually has, because Tucson was really known for their flat grinds, but this is a deep hollow ground Wharncliffe blade, perfect example of a Wharncliffe, and it gets down very thin. This has incredible cutting geometry, great ergonomics, fantastic front flipper. Like this is such a good front flipper. Like this is a very fidgety front flipper. And then it has a great reverse flick. This is actually a banger. The clip works really well. Super, it's not like super smooth. Well, it is super smooth, but there's a lot of tension. So it's the type of smooth that has the tension right there on the clip. But since it's this type of clip, it's not like gonna fuck up your pants or anything. Green micarta, and then it has a gigantic backspacer. But yeah, I like it. I like it quite a bit. This one's in D2. But I'm not sure if they still make these or not. Mine's still perfectly centered and everything, man. Banger knife, though. I'm surprised I don't talk about it more. Another one.
Hey, babe.
Yes, baby.
The new zipper still D2?
What?
The new zipper is still going to be D2?
The new zipper?
Yeah.
What zipper?
Is it still going to be D2?
Which one?
I don't know the one you were talking about. Is it...
No, it's 14C. Talking about the one that was glassy smooth or a different one?
All of them.
I don't know about, so I don't know. I think maybe their new knives might be better now. That might have been a long time ago. But if you do get the zzz, just know it'll break in. I've cut myself off from buying knives for a bit. Planning to hold out until I can buy a Strider, Spartan Harsey folder, and a Sabenza. After that, maybe I'll start buying some random stuff again. Nothing wrong with that. And those are some banger knives right there to have in the collection. So I know I only have 2 Striders, and one is a not technically a Strider, it's a Strider design from ProTech, and then I have one real Strider, and it's a custom, but from my lovely wife. You know, and but yeah, the one I have, yeah, it kind of sucks. It's rough. It's rough. It has play, like you can't. It's literally will not have smooth action unless it has play, and even if you tighten it all the way down, it still has play, but it's just, you know, it doesn't have good action. Yeah, I know, and I want it, and I still wouldn't mind having another one because I've tried some really good ones that were customs, but every single one I've ever tried that was from Emerson had some lock stick. Now from Strider, the best one that I ever tried was a Marfione custom Strider. Low Country Hillbilly's been a member for 5 months with the Benchmates. Last Tucson I bought was the 375 milling inlays. I know, we got to switch the Benchmade. Maybe the top tier should be Benchmade since they're so damn expensive. Make the rocks, that's the second one. No. We're going to, all right, so if we do a poll, all right, do a poll. Can you do it? Well, we can actually do a poll. All right, Michael, thank you, man. Thank you for the 5 bones. I appreciate it, brother. I just picked up a smock and a KUBEY Interflow, so I'm tapped for this month. So I want to talk about this guy really quick because this is one that hasn't been talked about much. Miranda, what's up, Miranda? Says, Jared, do you think of the new Crossbar lock Kunwu Padre, or what do I think about it? Don't really like crossbar locks, but it looks cool. So I love the Padre, and I was actually going to feature one in a video soon because they have some available. So if you want to get a Padre, there is some available right now. You can check out my my Kunwu link. Now, as far as the crossbar lock, the only problem I have with Kunwu's crossbar locks is they're not very good with their detents yet. I do think that that's going to improve, and maybe it is on the Padre. I haven't tried it, but as far as the crossbars I do have from them and have tried from them, they're soft. They're mushy, so it doesn't have that, like, it doesn't have that snap like a drop bear does. But the drop bear, arguably, it has the clutch lock, which they do the best version of the crossbar lock. But what do you mean? It's the same thing. It's an adjustable crossbar lock. But you can find some other companies that do a good job with it, like Vosteed. Vosteed does a great job with their crossbar lock. Migaron did a great job. Like, a bunch of companies have done great with it. So they just need to figure out that geometry. Hogue Maisto is taking the cake for crossbar locks for me. So mine isn't that good. I'm glad yours is. Mine is mushy. I have the titanium one, and for some reason, it just does not have a good detent. Nice thing about the crossbar lock Padre is that the frame lock can bite your thumb. What? What? No, it's crossbar lock. No detent. Well, what acts as the detent? That can bite your thumb when unlocking. It's nicked me a few times. Yeah, I got a couple knives there that bite the shit out of me every once in a while too. I got 2 Padres, the frame lock ones, and I think that my Padres actually bit me. I got 2 Padres, the frame lock one. They're my favorite knives in my collection. I got the stone washed in satin. Yeah, I'm actually I I probably shouldn't even say anything because nothing's in stone yet, but I'm looking into possibly doing a knife with, as an OEM job with Kunwu. I like what they do. I think they do great work. I like that they care about their steels and they use really good steels that I love, and they do a good job with the heat treatment. So, but what's your thoughts on Greg Medford saying the knife sales are drying up? That knife sales are drying up? What do you mean knife sales? So one thing, so he is stopping doing his Praetorian. Now, so it's kind of weird because he's not doing them now, but he'll, if once the demand gets high enough, he'll do them again. He's just bored of doing them. And I understand. I'm sure like it's their most popular bought model. I fucking hate the thing though. I love a lot of Medford knives, but I do not like that knife. That knife is horrendous in the hand. So I would never use it. So that's why I don't like it. Now, he's not going to do it no more because he says, you know, it's he's just done too many of them and he's sick of it. But I know he's just, you know, eventually what will happen is the demand will be up really high on the secondary market. They'll be going really expensive, and then he'll do like a limited run and they'll sell out. But another reason why, and I think this is the real reason why he's stopping, and I got this because he said a statement in his video, and that's what gave me this conclusion. His knives now are way different than his knives used to be. He's using bearings now. He's using, I think, better detents. His lock bar tension and detent is so much better. So he actually has good action. And they're just, a lot of the things they're doing now are so far from what they used to be doing. So having a knife design that still has those old aspects, it's not going to be, it's not good, right? It's not right. It's not going to be beneficial in the future. So what they could do is revisit it later when they're ready to turn it into a more common or a more new model, or whatever you want to say, up to date with what they can do. So I think that they're just trying to stick with some of the new knives that they're doing and do them very well and kind of get a little bit better of a name in the knife community for action and things like that. Because typically, Greg, you know, and this happens with lots of guys, man. Sometimes we're just hard-headed right at the beginning, or right when we're like introduced to something. And sometimes we just got to learn the hard way. But like when people were really getting into action, he made a whole bunch of statements like men shouldn't fidget, and, you know, nobody should be fidgeting with their knives, and blah, 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 right? And he might still say that, but he did eventually, because he said he wouldn't use bearings. I think he said that. Maybe he didn't, but he wound up using bearings. And then ever since, hold on one second. Once he started using bearings, though, that's when like those knives sold a lot. Probably his most, I'm not gonna say his most sold, but I guarantee his most sold knives now are maybe not like out of his whole business, you know, from the time it started, but now are definitely the ones on bearings. What's up?
It's funny that you said that about him saying men don't fidget, because I just read a psychological article or study the other day talking about how fidgeting is primarily a female attribute. Isn't that funny? That's
actually hilarious. I've heard that fidgeting makes you live longer. Neevesknives, quick question, Jared. Are we going to do another group live at Blade Show? Because that was one of my favorite parts. Yeah, we might be able to. What? That was not our live. That was. Oh no, that was Justin's. Justin, yeah. OCD, yeah. I've always wanted, but yeah, we can probably do something. I've always wanted a Medford. Just can never get myself to drop $800 on one. There's always something I'd rather buy in the $300 to $600 range. I hear you, man. I hear you. The Crossbar Duralock on the Kershaw Iridium is one of the best ones I've seen recently. Yeah, that's a good one. They did a good job with that one. Kershaw did a really good job, period, with their Crossbar locks. They were even able to do a flipper, which the only other company that I've seen to do a flipper successfully with a Crossbar lock has been SOG, which it's surprising to see like SOG coming out and doing stuff like that. Jared, thanks for doing what you do here. You rock. The best of the best. Very much appreciate your time. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And Jason with the 5 bones. When and where can I get your new knife design? Will you ship to Canada? Padre arrived last week. Hell yeah, good for you on the Padre. So about 4 months they will be, because these are the what I have right now is prototypes. So they're obviously not ready yet. And like I said, I have a bunch of little changes happening. Nothing to the design, but just like the clip's going to be extended so it's smoother. We're going to have the deep satin finish. I'm going to have an all DLC one with a polish, because a bunch of you guys requested this. This is why I did this. One is going to be a solid DLC with a polished blade with a DLC coating with polished hardware, backspacer, and clip with DLC. So that's going to be badass. And then the other ones are going to be, or the other one's going to be a DLC coated deep satin finish. And then the other two are going to have plain satin blades. And I'm going to do a different color option. I'm going to do one plain, one just solid plain. Somebody requested that too. I said, you know, I probably should do that, you know, where it's just a solid one color like this. And then I'm going to do the same one that we had with a plain satin blade with the blue and satin, with the satin handle and blue hardware. But it'll be in about 4 months, and they'll be right around $300. We're doing our best to make this. And you guys gotta understand, like, this is tough to do. And I don't mean tough like as in like decision wise, but also like we could be asking way more for this. And we should, to be honest, but we are trying to make this the most affordable, bang for your buck, badass knife you can get. Like something at a top tier level, right? Riet made K390 DLC for under $300. And if you notice, most knives coming from Riet are not fucking under $300, especially to start off with, especially on a limited run too, because we're only gonna have 400. But we're gonna do our best to do that. The box and packaging might not be the best, but what?
You're not answering about if you guys ship to Canada.
Yeah, we'll ship to Canada.
Are you sure?
No.
Well, why would you do that?
Well, I mean, I know we can ship to Canada. I don't know how our payment thing is right now with.
A lot of the companies don't ship to Canada, like Kaiser doesn't. Like a lot of the sites aren't set up for it because of the laws.
Listen, I don't care about shipping to Canada. I can have my partner ship to Canada. I just don't know if we have the ability to accept overseas currency. I don't know. We might be able to. I don't know. I have to look and I have to ask him. If we do that group live, can we get, oh damn it, it just skipped on me. Can we get Ray into the mix? Think he would love being there and get energized being around so many knife tours. Dude, I would love that. I think that'd be awesome. Low Country Hillbilly with another 5 bones. Custom Knife Factory would charge $550 for your design. Easily they would. Probably $650 to be honest. And considering the steel, what? Oh, for sure. I expect that. I know it's going to sell out, but we're probably going to do another batch of them. Have like another batch just kind of ready to go. The reason why we're not doing more is because then it takes longer. So, you know, 4 months is already a while, which really it's not too long, but you know, I'm late in the game, but I just received my bug out. And why is the blade, looks unfinished in terms of sharpenings? I can see some burrs. Yeah, that sucks, man. That Benchmade, man, I don't know what's going on with them. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I think at the beginning they all did that. They all the bug outs at first, when they first dropped, like when the bug out first came around, they all, not all, but a lot of them had really gritty action, and you'd have to deal with it for about 4 to 5 days. After about a week, it would completely go away and it'd be smooth. But for like 4, 5, 6 days, it would just be I'm talking about a week of grinding, yeah. And even if you take it apart, put it back together, it's still going to do the same thing because it's the bar would break into the tang of the blade. That's what was happening. Why not do a pre-order? That way you can sell a ton. Well, the reason why is because I don't want to. I don't like, not that I'm not going to do pre-orders in the future. I wanted really bad because I understand the frustration of people not wanting to wait 6 months for a knife, right? I prefer to just get them and sell them, you know, and I'm not saying that that's how it's going to be always, but that's how we wanted this to be. I didn't want people to have to, if we do like a pre-order, it's going to be like a 1 week thing. Like it's not even a pre-order. It's like, if you want one, Yeah, just to make sure there's not so much traffic as soon as they drop and then things crash. Just to give people like a week span time, but they probably the same thing will probably happen. But maybe in the future. Jared, are you going to do something like a firm as a payment plan? Not on this. If you mean like the payment plan, like 4 payments, we are looking into setting up with like Zelle or whatever. The problem is you have to have your company for so long before you can do that or some shit. Like we looked into it already, and there has to be like, we didn't have any transactions yet when we first started, right? Obviously, it's a new business. So they want to see like a healthy thing of transactions and stuff first or something. But I'm not sure. We might be fine now, but still in prototype stage. So I'm guessing it'll be a while. 36, 4 months for mine. 4 months. Will members get first shot at those? So originally, me and my partner talked about possibly doing that, but the problem is that that's not fair. It's not fair to everybody, because what'll happen is they'll mostly be gone, and what'll happen is the specific, the best. I don't know which one's going to be the most popular colored wise, because they all are badass, but whichever one it winds up being will be the one that sells out. So then nobody will have an opportunity to get that color. Yeah.
What if you just put up like 20?
What do you mean?
Put up 20 early for the members. So not every member, but you give.
How though? How do you pick which member gets it? Think about that.
You put it up early, and then you give them access to it, and whoever the fuck gets it, gets it.
I mean, we might be able to do something. We were thinking about doing where, like
or something to give away to them.
We were thinking about doing a thing where we make a shirt with that knife design on the shirt, and do like 50 people, where if you were like the first 50 buyers or first 50 people to order, you get a shirt with it. Then we started talking about like, a couple other things, but we're still talking about it. Because we only have 400. And wait, baby. We only have 400, and we're doing it at the cheapest price we possibly can. We don't have the money to give any away. If we do that, like the point is to be able to bring it to them at a very, very, very low cost. And when you consider all the time and the prototypes, because prototypes don't cost, the prototypes cost way more than what? Snacks? With the next design, the price is going to be double. Michael's been a member for 20 months with the Benchmaids. It's soon going to have a name change. Will members get, oh, I already said that. No, they're not going to get first shot. I can't do that on this one. Maybe on the next one. Because it's such a limited run. We're planning on doing a bigger count with other knife designs. It's just, it's difficult, man. It's difficult to pay for 1,000 knives. If what? We'll see. We'll see. Listen to that. Damn it, that thing rings. I love that shit, man. Listen to this other one. I'm not sure which one's better. Huh?
That's the note.
That's a C note?
The C note.
You know what also? $100 bill. So the Tuya V4, actually, I didn't even think these things were still available. They still have some silver carbon fiber ones. This is a banger. So I originally started loving, actually, I still have them too. I have the original Envy. There was only 100 of them made.
Who got that for you?
My lovely wife. And we got the green version with the green anodization. And then I wound up getting the next one, which they made a lot of, and that was the drop point one, my baby. And because I loved the Tuya, so that was the Tuya 2. Then they want to make it a 3. I never had the 3. It was a liner lock. And then this is the version 4, where they changed it from a drop point blade. Well, the first one was a Tonto. Then it went to a drop point. It was really a straight back, not a drop point, but they called it a drop point. And then this is the sheep's foot version. And it is so badass. There is some changes, though. Thumb studs instead of flipper. The other one had a fuller and flipper. No chamfer on the lock bar. The clip works really well, but this is just a great size knife. Very good ergonomics, incredible action. Tuya does a really good job with their action. This was the first, the first Tuya, or sorry, the first Envy I had. That was like the first time I felt real premium folding knives, like, because like I had felt some premium folding knives, but like that level, it felt like a $500 knife. Like it was like 220 bucks, but it felt like a $500 knife.
You remember the name?
Oh man. Lenore. Her name's Lenore. That's hilarious. We should show them the video one of these days. Eating coats on 6 months. I'm pissed after 6 days of waiting. Exactly. That's why wouldn't you just rather just buy it outright? Jared, any chance you'll come out with a hard use knife? Yes. Yes, I am definitely going to do that. I have plans with a lot of stuff. So the next couple designs I'm going to have are going to be very slicey knives. I have one in particular that's going to be a spear point blade with like kind of like the same profile of like the Elementum 2 or like the Quiet Carry Waypoint, but with incredible geometry, with the materials I want, and with the finish and, you know, handle I want. It might be a bolster lock. I thought about doing a different type of lock, or maybe even a different like style altogether of a frame lock, but we'll see how that goes, because that one I'm really psyched about, because that's going to be like my knife, like meaning like that's the like would be like my favorite kind of knife, and that's what I'm kind of designing around right now. I have one going on with a company that you guys will see at Blade Show. I will be revealing it at Blade Show. Not sure how long it'll take till those are done, but the prototype is done, so I'm going to try. I haven't tried it yet, so I'll be trying it the first time at Blade Show with that company. Now I have another one going on with Best Tech, and that one I actually went a little crazy with this one because I wanted to do something out there, right? I love me a good old harpoon tanto. So I did a harpoon tanto with a little bit of recurve and a dual grind. And it's fucking sick. So it's gonna be badass. Huh? No, I gotta do something with crime.
That's right.
That's my thing. Do you know about how much your knife costs? What?
Name it the ham sandwich, because that's all they serve in jail.
Oh, that sucks. How much will it cost? So we're trying to make the knife is the best value possible, and we're trying to get it under 300. So right around 300, whether it's 300 or like 290, it'll be like right around there, which that's a very, very low price for everything considered. You know, you got to consider everything. Quick question. Any tips for customizing and changing scales and clips? I want to get into it completely. New to it. I got a Tonto 80 20.5 since there's plenty of aftermarket for the handle. So that's an easy one to do. Just be careful with the spring when you're taking it apart. The spring for that lock, it will shoot out. And I don't mean like just like when you're taking it apart, but like when you're trying to put it back in or when you're taking the lock out, just be careful with that spring. The spring will shoot, and it'll shoot so far and fast, you will never find it. It will be impossible to find. I bought extras because I knew that would happen. And guess what? I was so thankful that I literally paid for extras, because I went to take it apart, and you know, I've had multiple of them, and that fucking spring, like you don't see it. It's so fast, and you're like, which way did it go? And you're like trying to find it, and it's gone. So luckily I had an extra one. But yeah, man, just when you're putting the screws back in, one of the main things I always say to people is do not tighten one screw down all the way. Never do that, especially with the pivot, but really with any of the screws. The reason why is it's kind of like when you're changing a wheel on a car, right? You don't just tighten down one lug nut and then go to the next one. No, you just put it like, you know, loose, right? It's on there, but a little loose, and you go to the next one a little loose, and then you start basically doing the opposite side and tightening it up slowly, right? Well, same thing with the knife. When you go to put the screws in, just put them all in light, so there's no tension in one area, because you want the scale to go down perfectly flat. You don't want it to go down like this and then this side go down. You don't want that. So just keep them like where it's like not tight, but you know, it's getting snug, and then start going around like that and tighten them. That's what I would say. That's a great tip, because I dealt with a lot of issues in the beginning because I didn't know that. Is the Best Tech or Neta worth picking up? Personally, I don't think so. I gotta double check it real quick because I know I can't remember. Best Tech or, and I hate to burst your bubble on it, but is that the, no, that's not it. Here it is. Oh yeah, so this is a combo design. It's okay. It's not bad. It's okay. So I'm not gonna say it's bad. I'm not gonna say it's great. I would say it's decent. Um, I'm trying to remember it really well. They do have a knife coming out right now, Best Tech, that's pretty sick. It's like a I don't think it has a recurve, but it looks like it does, but it looks almost like a hawk bill, but it is a Warncliffe. Tell you what, guys, this is absolutely badass. The Sharp by Designs Derecho is available right now. Blade HQ, link down in the description. Just go to Blade HQ, type in Sharp by Design, and then this and the rest of the Sharp by Design knives will pop up. Jared, are you going to do a USA made knife eventually? I already have. I'll be sad. Not. My first knife was a USA made knife. It's right here. Bang. I'm not sure if there's any available right now, but we are doing another batch of them with thinner geometry. So we're going to thin out the geometry, use a different steel like Nitro V or AEBL or something. And then, yeah, it's going to be super badass too. Way thinner, way slicier, way more devastating. But yeah, that was my first one that I did, with T-Cal. But yes, I do want to do a folding knife design. The problem is that there's not really any OEMs in the USA. Finding a USA OEM is like, unless if it's fixed blades, but for folders, it's like nearly impossible. Any company that you go to, like it's like $600, and that's for like, that's not considering a prototype. Like prototype is always like double the cost. So anytime you see somebody's prototype, just know that they spent way more than what they could even sell it for, because they have to program their machines and yada yada. So that's just the way it works. The rest of the models, when they do the production, are the cost it costs, but the prototypes are always more expensive. So when you go to the USA and you try doing that, it's expensive. AEBL would be great for that. Yes, AEBL or Nitro V. I'd be happy with either one. Are you familiar with Randy Johnson? His old channel was Solo Knife Reviews. Yes, I am definitely familiar with him. I haven't seen him in a while, but I do know who he is. Jared, are you still going to make a lefty pocket clip for your new knife design? No. So I'm not, and the reason why is because I already have so many little changes going on, and they're minor, but the more we do, the more significant it gets, and the more likely they want to do another prototype. And we're trying not to do that. We would rather, because I'm happy with it. I just want,
Your own wife is left-handed.
I just want a couple little things. Now, I will say this. If you're left-handed, it's easy to flick still. So you're not going to have a problem. That's my fault. You're not going to have a problem with the action, but what you will have a problem with is the clip.
A lot of left-handed people carry...
I know. Why? It doesn't matter. Just, grow some balls and let the blade, face, your genitals. FLM rips through denim pant leg around a... What?
I said a lot of left-handed people carry it in the right pocket and then just throw it in their left hand when they take it out. I do that. I know a lot of them.
Yeah, I do too. FLN rips through denim pant leg around a doll wrapped with newspaper confetti. Hell yeah. Yeah, this thing will cut you up real good. But that was the point of it. The point of it was to go after arms, limbs. You could say legs too, swiping at the legs. Like, a lot of like self-defense practitioners, like with knives, they talk about that. Like a lot of people try to go for like the face, the neck, the throat, and you should be going lower. And the reason why is because that's less likely to be protected and less likely to be able to be protected. So like going after somebody's groin area, the top of their thigh, the lower part of the belly, things like that. But yeah, one swipe at an arm, this thing is like just one hit. You hit somebody one time in the arm, it's over. Like it's over for them. They're going to be lucky if they survive. And if they do survive, they're definitely going to need some serious stitches. Probably some surgery. Jason, thank you for the 2 bones. Palace DLC all day. Check out the Spyderco call. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for the donation. And yes, you like that pal. I knew. So, like I said, there was a few people, and I think you might have been one of them that requested the Polish DLC. Hey, Ramet just gifted 5 Neevesknives memberships. If you guys didn't see my video earlier, I posted a swordfish video earlier. It is released. It is linked in the description of the video I posted earlier. Go and watch that. I'm going to change the title and description of that video probably tomorrow or the next day, because I wanted to focus the title for the first couple days on the fact that when we get knives in, right, we criticize them, right? We critique them and say what we think could be better. A lot of companies don't give a shit. I don't care. You can say this jimping is so slippery, I don't even want to use it, and they won't change it. And what sucks is it's not like the batches are already out. They'll make new batches, and they won't change the thing that was wrong. And that becomes aggravating after a while. It does, you know, like the first one didn't, like, kind of like, I can name 100 companies that have done this. But when a company goes and they literally change everything that was complained about to, you know, exactly what, you know, the people wanted as fast as they did, that is amazing. And that's how a company is supposed to do it. A company shouldn't be insulted. They shouldn't try to come after you. They shouldn't, you know, they shouldn't do anything when it, like, personal, like where it's like it's in a personal attack, because they like to do that. And the ones that don't, they don't say anything. They just don't do anything about it. And, you know, it's awesome when a company, you know, takes it, because obviously you're going to sell knives, right? You're in the knife selling business. So it's in your best interest to make sure it's what the people want. Yes, Truya's really good with that. Asher was really good. I haven't seen Asher's in a while. Would you demo sharpening ceramic blades sometimes? Yeah, I could. The way you want to do it, and thank you for the 5 bones, Brad. The way you want, and for being a member, the way you want to do it is with a fine diamond. So the problem with sharpening ceramics, you never ever want to sharpen them like steel, meaning like start with a coarse, go to a medium, go to a fine. Don't do that, because it won't work. It'll actually backfire. So what you want to do is you want to start with a fine. It's the one time when you want to start with an ultra fine stone, like 1200 grit and above, maybe like 2000 grit, because it's so hard and the diamonds are hard. They'll just, and you have to use diamond, by the way, you have to, it'll chip it away, and the chips will be so big, it'll be very difficult to get them out. And so now you'll go to a fine, and it'll take forever to get it out. So start with an ultra fine. That's how you want to do it. Jared, how would you compare Spyderco's Rex 45 to the K390? That's a tough one. So I love the K390. K390 is my favorite. The Rex 45 is really, really, really good. I'll say they're very comparable in the way they take edges, but K390 possibly gets a little bit sharper. I do think Rex 45, it's hard for me to say this without really doing a test, but I feel like maybe it drops back better, but I don't know. It's hard without doing a test right side to side. K390 definitely has better edge retention, and possibly, I don't know, man, it's tough, because I want to think that it has better edge stability, meaning like its ability to stretch out that apex to a very, very, very fine edge. But yeah, man, they're both great, man. Jacob Green, welcome to the Benchmade. Shout out to you, man. And the knife, the Benchmades are going to be, what do you want to call? Yeah, go with the Spydercos. I like that. They're now the Spydercos. Ricker, with the 22 of something or another, I'm not sure what currency that is. Crackers. Jared, did you ship my knife yet? What knife was I supposed to ship you? Did you win? Is that from win? Is that what you're talking about? Are you you're talking about the you're talking about the no. He's a member. He's talking about, I think he's talking about the Rockstead membership, right? That's what you're talking about. No, I have not. And I apologize, guys. I am like so backed up, man. I'm like on another level of backed up. I am fighting for my life right now to get everything caught up because of the damn computer issues we've had. It's just been one thing after another. So I've had to put a couple things on the back burner, but I'm going to get them shipped out before the end of the week. I promise you. Ramet gifted 5 Neevesknives memberships again. Shout out to Ramet, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We need those memberships. We love that. Chris has been a member for 2 months with the Benchmates, now formerly known as the Benchmates, now the what? Spydercos. LCV Blades Edge, member for 2 months with the Spydercos. What? You wanna?
Yeah,
Well, no, I like the Rockstead, so maybe just leave the Rocksteads and then do the other. I don't know. What do you think? Been sharpening seriously for 2 months. Yeah, you can do the K390s as the Rockstead, you mean? Yeah, but the Rocksteads have like been like a thing for so long. Like I feel like they.
No, I'll leave the Rocksteads alone.
Okay, then do the other one steels.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
I've been sharpening seriously for 2 months. Keep it up. Keep it up, because I'm telling you, the difference, the longer you stick in it, obviously, the more you're going to learn. But the difference in knowledge and ability at like the 6-month mark doesn't compare to any of the other months. Like literally, like you'll have double what you did in like the 5th month. It's just it winds up becoming like a curve where everything gets it, and it's just because your muscle memory kicks in. You wind up getting that the feel, the touch, the handling, everything winds up happening, and it's like it almost happens all at once, and then you can't lose it. You can't mess up. Like it's just you're almost impossible. But even if you're using a fixed angled system, after like a couple months of using a fixed angled system, as long as you're sharpening regularly, you've seen everything, so it makes it to where your edges are way, way better. Zeroaster's been a member for 20 months. Love you, J&K. Metalheads, please like and sub. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yes, please hit the like button. And I do appreciate all the subs, and definitely use the affiliate links down in the description. That definitely helps the channel. Thank you for the tips on customizing. Also, what's some aftermarket scales brand to buy? What is your favorite custom you've done? I say Original Goat. Go to Original Goat. I think they're the best right now. A lot of people like Aught, but Original Goat, I love that they're USA made. They do a bunch of different materials, and I love that they have like different patterns and stuff, so you can kind of, and they come up with new patterns often. But they are USA made, really good quality. The fitment is like perfect. The fit is perfect. Yeah, as far as what's my favorite custom I've built or done, my 80-20.5, because it's got a transparent knives reblade in MagnaCut steel 64.5 HRC, and it's got Original Goat titanium scales, and I love it. It's so slicey though. Mine is like not like any other 80-20. What?
K3. Okay. Would you prefer K390 optimally heat treated or MagnaCut heat treated at 63?
Well, that's both optimal.
I know.
Okay. K390.
Okay. That's what I was asking, because I can throw K390 in parentheses next to the Rocksteads. Unless, what steel is the Rockstead knife again?
Oh yeah, that's
It's a weird one.
Yeah, it's not a weird one. It's damn it, I can't even think of it now. What the hell? Why would you do that to me?
Starts with an A, doesn't it?
It is why can't I think of it? It's damn it. It's that steel that it's like 67 HRC. Somebody's probably saying ZDP 189. That's what ZDP 189.
Okay, so I'll just put that in parentheses next to the Rocksteads.
Thank you guys. You guys are the shit.
And
What?
I'll put that in parentheses next to the Rocksteads. I'll keep it Rockstead, put ZDP 189 next to it, and then I'll do K390 and then MagnaCut for the bottom one.
So you say MagnaCut, K390, and then Rocksteads? Or are you saying Rocksteads are the K390?
MagnaCut, K390, and then Rocksteads, but I'll put parentheses ZDP.
Well, ZDP 189 wouldn't be as good as K390.
I'm just saying I'll leave it Rocksteads.
Yeah, just leave it Rocksteads.
Steels in parentheses next to it.
But why would that be? Why would ZDP 189 be a top tier?
Because it's a Rockstead. It's a Rockstead.
The Rockstead part is the top tier, not the
staying
steel.
Called Rockstead.
Okay. Unless you want to change it. Somebody says for me to throw it back because it looks like I got a BBL. Love how Kara chimes in from another room like, honey, yes, babe. Look at all stuff. Hey, on the edge, just gifted a Neevesknives membership. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I don't know if you guys know this. Maybe you guys do, maybe you guys don't. But, you know, the Ziphius is a limited edition knife, but they actually dropped some more. They're available right now, linked down in the description under the We. Make sure you use the discount code. If you buy it, you'll get 15% off, and then it'll make it the same price as all the other places. The Ziphius is an absolute fucking banger from We Knife Co. This thing is a Harpoon Warncliffe blade with a basically like an integral backspacer. It's all titanium, 20 CV. We does the best button lock action right now. I can't think of another company that does it as well. Like even this one right here. Even this one right here, right? Yeah, but Kaiser's will get play. This thing is old. I've used the hell out of it. There isn't an ounce of up and down, not even a little bit, not even a smidgen. And it is just as beautiful as it was when I opened it out of the box. Now, some button locks, the detent might get a little softer over time, but you can always just stretch the spring and make it stronger. But yeah, man, their Ziphius, this thing is a badass knife. I like it. You know what sucks is when you like a knife so much that you don't want to fuck it up. But then there's the thing, you like it so much that you want to fuck it up. Like it's like you're pulled between you know, the devil, the devil and the angel. But yeah, that's they are available, and I would say, man, if you've been thinking about getting one, just get it, man. Just get it. That's a no-brainer knife. Like there's a lot of knives that are like, you know, you have to question, like, well, do you like this? Do you like this? But then there's some knives that's like, that's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Get it. Hey, Todd says, I missed 5 memberships from Blade Walker. I don't know how the I did that. I don't know where. There it is. Blade Walker. Thank you, man. I appreciate the 5 Neevesknives membership. And Todd, thank you for keeping me in check. I need to get, I think I have it already, Todd. I need to get your address again. I think I still have it, though. I think it's in the system at the place. Thank you, man. I need to get a Ziphius. I already have a Watauga, a Sentinel Strike, and love that, so I need to complete the family. Yes, you do. Because those other ones don't even compare. Obviously, right? Obviously. So, yeah, if you like those, then you will just love that. I mean, it's hard not to love. The Ziphius, it's hard not to love. Exactly. You can split the Rockstead tier in the Rockstead ZDP 189 and Rockstead YXR7. I haven't tried that. Charleston Shaver has been a member for 11 months with the Spider Co's. What's poppin'? Have seen the EXOU from Riat. I have not had that one. The one with the razor. I haven't tried that one. So I do like all the other ones. I have all the other ones. Thoughts on Outdoors 55 finding 58 HRC on the drop bear? I don't think that was a surprise at all, to be honest. And I'll tell you why. It's S35VN. So S35VN typically from most companies you test, it's going to be 58 to 60.
What's its optimal range?
60 to 61. Yeah. But most companies run at 58 to 60 because that was like what
the OG
Chris Reeves, you know, all of them push that.
For a while now.
Well, I'm just saying what they do. So like you go to 90% of all the companies out there, that's what S35 is going to be. Yeah. It's going to be 58 to 60. You'll usually see around 59 to 60. So.
And I've had 14 C knives that serve me better than S35 on plenty of occasions.
Well, that's why I should have, and I thought about this afterwards, I should have sent him, when I sent him that knife, I should have sent him an LMAX one or a different steel one. Like I have, what is this one right here? This one's LMAX. I should have sent him this one or something. And I'm always saying that because when I sent it to him, I just picked one and I wanted to get him a drop bear. I really did. But then afterwards, I was thinking like, I gave him a premium one, but for some reason, I thought the steel was like 20 CV or something. But I guess it wound up being S35VN. But I have a ton of them, so they're great knives to collect.
It's good that he found out, though, so it's kind of worth it.
No, I love that he found out. I love that he's whatever he does. I mean, I'm happy to see it happen. And I'm happy for the information. I remember how bad I messed up when I first learned to sharpen on a fixed angle. Yeah. First was a Kershaw Cryo that I keep to laugh at, but I messed up a waypoint and a shaman and an atom. Gotta practice. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, you want to practice on thin geometry knives like Civivi, Sun Cut, stuff like that. Stuff with good heat treatments, decent steels, but nothing that will, you know, haunt you if you mess up. But one thing you do want to do, everybody, right? Everybody should eventually try a thick geometry knife. And I say that because your perception of edge angles will completely change. And the reason why is because, like, say something thin, you can sharpen something thin at 15 degrees per side and it'll take you 15 minutes. And the edge bevel will be nice and small. You do that on a thick geometry knife, it's going to take you 3 days to sharpen it, and the bevel's going to be half the size of the blade. Like, it's seriously like ridiculous. If you guys seen that Chavez video I did, the Chavez with the dual grind Tonto, I think the one was a chisel grind, 20 degrees edge bevel was like this big on there, 20 degrees. And it took me like 4 hours to do a little part like that because it's just the top nose. But that's how you learn though. And then you know, like, okay, this is thin, like say with a dual grind, right? Let's say, do I have a dual grind over here? I do not, but let's pretend this is a dual grind. Just for shits. Do I have a dual grind?
You want to get you one?
No. Let's say it's a, oh, I do.
Wow.
I got a Max Ace sitting here.
Woo-hoo!
You guys don't even know about this. I haven't even talked about this yet. So you have the Tonto nose up here, right? This geometry is thicker than this geometry. So when you sharpen this, you can, and you probably should, sharpen it at the same angle all the way around, so then you don't have to sit there and change angles constantly. You could do 2 different angles, and in some cases you might have to, or you should. The majority of the time you just want to keep it the same angle. However, you have to get the perfect angle to balance between the two, unless if you don't care about having a bevel damn near the size of the grind. So if you want a decent bevel size for the blade ratio, or blade geometry, then you want this the angle that you're going to use here to also do good here, which will be in the middle between the two. Like, you don't want to go too low up here and you don't want to go too high up here because you want it to be nice and slicey. So, but you learn those things when you're sharpening. That's how you learn it. You learn it from doing it. And again, you learn it from fucking Knives Up. Trust me, I've got my share, my fair share, and I've done some really expensive ones too. I know. Let me see, thoughts on, oh yeah, I read that one. Lavender Pants, what's up, brother?
LP?
Yep, LP's in the house. I took a Becker BK2 and took it to 15 degrees. Literally took me all night. Yes. I removed so much steel, it lost quite a bit of weight. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And I've done that shit too. And that's the thing, is that, yeah, it will take you all night. That's why I said it'll take you a couple days sometimes, because you'll give up. You'll give up, and because you're like, I've been here for 6 hours. You start thinking like, I need to eat. I need to sleep and shit. So then you'll give up and you'll come back the next day and it'll just haunt you, just looking at it. Like, because you'll look at it and you'll be like, because what happens with knives like that is the part that you have left will be like this big. And you're like, this should be done in no time. You're literally looking at it like there's nothing there. That little tiny bit that's left right at the apex that you can't get is going to take you 3 hours. And you're like, baby, I'll be done in 10 minutes. I'm almost done. Neeves, are the Fair Monster knives on par with WE? How's the action? I wouldn't say they're on par with WE. I have one sitting over here somewhere. I thought I did. Maybe I put it up. They're not on par with WE, but they are good. The problem, excuse me, the problem I have with them is the clip. Seems that a couple of the ones I've tried, the clips weren't that great. WE does a really good job with their clips most of the time. The action, the fit, finish, tolerances, all that's great on those knives. Like, they're really well done. So for the price and everything, they're pretty reasonable because they are good. But they do have a couple things that they could do a little bit better. Oh, whoa.
Did you turn it off?
No, did you?
I think it turned off. I swear.
What are you talking about?
Did it?
Look.
Okay, I heard it go, and I don't see a red dot on here.
You don't see a red dot.
Okay.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
I just got so scared.
Yeah, me freaking out. My phone was so old, I could no longer interact or comment on YouTube. Once I figured that out, I got a new phone and I can talk again. There you go. Neeves is we Starhawk any good? Let me just make sure because I think I have the Starhawk. I just want to make sure it's the one I'm thinking. I think I have the Starhawk. Maybe I don't. I think I do. Oh, okay. So I'll be honest with you. Okay. So We Knife Go does a good job regardless. I've had 2 of them and I've given them both away. So now typically, not that I give away shit that I don't want. I don't do that. I give away shit that I love, and I give away sometimes some things that it's like I don't need it in my collection. Like I would sell it, right? So saying that, it's a good knife, but here's my little problem with it. The ergos for me in my hands are just too big for that knife. It doesn't fit in my hand properly, and then the spay point it has, it looks like a sheep's foot, but a spay point is much different than a sheep's foot because the point of a spay point is to not use the exactly. It's the spay animal, so it's to not poke things. So while a sheep's foot is really good at poking things, once you turn it into a spay point, which is very similar to a sheep's foot, and that's why you look at it like the same, but it's not. It's not the same at all. And the spay point doesn't work as well for utility cuts. It seems like it would, but it doesn't. Jared, have you tried the new Microtech Combat Troodon Gen 3? Just ordered one from Miranda. You know what, man? I gotta get one. I've got to get. That's one thing I don't have in the collection. I've obviously had a lot on the channel, but I've never owned a Microtech OTF. And I feel like I can't. Can you even call yourself a knife guy that has a knife channel if you've never owned a Microtech OTF? I don't know. I mean, I know I definitely get some points taken away.
I owned a rare Microtech.
Yeah, we have Microtechs, but not OTFs, and that's what they're known for. You do. She has a mini SOCOM Elite from 1999, and that is old as shit. Jared, have you seen the Vosti to Corn? Yes, I got it. 14C 2.98 blade, nice little package today. Yeah, well, I guess I should just tell you guys. Yeah, so if you want to get one of these, damn it, I don't have the link down in the description. I should wait for this, but yeah, these are really affordable right now. You can get these for like 40, 50 bucks, and what is on the blade? And yeah, they're pretty cool. This is a liner lock. It's got the front flipper and the hole deployment. And being that it's a front flipper, you have good ergos on a little blade. That is the one beautiful thing with a front flipper, is that you can have a smaller handle and have really good ergonomics, because it doesn't, or anything that doesn't have a regular flipper, because a flipper just, it can get in the way. All right, so we do have some things we're going to talk about here in 1 second. What else do I have written over here? Oh, I want to show you guys something really quick. Check this out. Can you guys see that? We'll pull them up. You know what? All right, so I got me some Thursday Captains. So if you guys know me, I love my boots. And I wanted to get an olive green pair of boots. Carol recently got me an olive green wristwatch. This is a Movado, and this is the heritage, one of the heritage ones. So really nice watch, beautiful watch, gorgeous watch. And this is exactly what I wanted. And I've been like looking and wanting to get a green faced watch. What? I said it like 100 times. I know, I indoctrinated you with it, just so you know. Yes. So I wanted to get some matching boots. Lately I've been really rocking and liking an olive green tone with other colors, obviously. And I usually wear earth tone colors. That's just, my style. I like timeless things, So olive green goes great with basically every color. So that's awesome. Now, I had an olive green Thursday belt, but it's only an inch, I think a 1 1/4 inch belt, and I don't like that. So while it's a great belt for like dress up, it's not a great belt for daily carry. So I got, so just so you know, my favorite belts are Hank's belts. So right here's a Hank's belt. I've had this one for about 2 years or something like that. You can see the bend in it, but this is a USA made belt, USA made boots. And then here is my new olive green one. This is, I think, called the Canyon. So it's the Canyon. It's got really nice stitching, olive green. Like I said, USA made. They're called the 100-year belt, Hank's belts. So the 100-year belt, what it stands for is they're supposed to they're warranted for 100 years. So if anything ever happens in 100 years, they will send you a new one or something like that, or repair it, fix it, whatever. But you can just feel it. But here's the big kicker. Here's the thing about them. 1.5 inch and a half here. That is so important to me, because when I wear a belt like this now, after wearing a belt like this, just look at the thickness difference. Wearing a belt like this, like, it supports your back. Like, you can carry, I mean, if you're going to carry firearms, if you're going to carry anything on your belt, you want a good belt. This type of belt, you wouldn't want to carry anything on this. Like, you wouldn't want to carry a fixed blade. You wouldn't want to carry a fire. There's nothing you'd want to carry on this. It's just not made for that. Something like this, it's made for carrying that stuff. And they actually, even if you go to Hank's, they even have specific like, you know, belts for holsters and things like that. But regardless of carrying or anything like that, the support and the feel you have from a quality belt like this, you almost never want to go back. Like, I freaking love this belt. And like I said, Hank's belts, my all-time favorite belts right now. So now I got the USA made Thursday Captains matching my USA made Hank's belt with my Swiss made Movado. And I got a couple other pieces that I'm adding in that are going to be really badass, that are also going to be olive green. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really cool accent. So I'm testing these out. I am going to do a video on them. I still have to do my video on my Red Wing Iron Rangers, because I've had those for a couple years. Lavender Pants just became a member. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you, man. Todd, you're so awesome, man. You talked them into it. Neeves, Ray is teaching you. Where are the bright Nikes? Okay, so I'm actually going to do a video. I shouldn't even tell you guys this, but I'm going to do a video on, and it's just talking shit. I don't actually mean it, but I'm going to do a thing where it's like, what? About the dunks? Boys wear these and men wear these. So like in the thumbnail, it'll be a pair of Nike dunks or a pair of Jordans or something. And then over here, I'll be something else, like a pair of nice boots or something. And it'll be like, boys wear these, men wear these, just to be funny. and yeah, I'm going to put Ray's face on there with tears, because I think that'd be funny. But don't get me wrong. I understand the hype around those shoes. My problem with them, here's my problem. And I hate saying this to people that love them, because I know there's people that are just die hard for Jordans and dunks and just Nike, collecting Nikes and stuff. What? Well, I grew up around it where everybody always did it. You know, like everybody collected shoes, everybody wore Jordans, everybody wore. But what I was about to say is that when you start understanding the build of shoes and the quality of the materials, the leather, the stitching and stuff like that, you learn that Nike shoes or Jordans or any of those, it's like paying re-at prices for a Gerber. Literally, and I'm not exaggerating or anything. They're using the lowest quality leather most of the time, that are very, very thin. They're using plastics on the leather because the leather sucks, to just make it, because otherwise it'll fall apart. They have materials that they're not good. Now, if you made a Nike out of material like this, it would be $3,000 fucking shoe because this is actually made with good quality stitching, real really thick leather. I think this is 2 millimeters. My Red Wings are 2.5, I believe. But you know, just the difference in, like, right here, this has got the 360 Goodyear stitch all the way around, so you never have to worry about it flapping off or anything like that. Those things matter to me now, and I watch shows like Rose and Anvil. If you guys want, go check that channel out. He's got an awesome channel. He cuts boots and shoes in half. He tests all kinds of shoes, all kinds of boots, anything on your feet he does. And I've learned a lot. And it's kind of like I said, like when you start learning the stitching and start learning the leathers and stuff, you start looking at shoes and boots a little bit differently because you realize how much you're getting ripped off. Why you think I got all suited and booted? Exactly. When you like I said, when you learn steels, it's kind of like that, right? You probably didn't know steels a long time ago, but then all of a sudden when you start finding out, oh, regular stainless is just dog shit, they're too embarrassed to tell you what it is literally like spending RIAT money on a knife that just says stainless. You know what I mean? Because that's not quality materials. It's not done well. It's not heat treated well. Same thing with their leathers. It's not processed well. 420 HC? Yeah, maybe. How much of those $3,000 go directly to the child laborers? Research department, put on your Sherlock Holmes hat. The folks at home gotta know. That's hilarious. No, unfortunately, not plain edge. Not a lot of Hawkbills options out there. There's more plain edge Wharncliffe options if that works for you. There is a new best deck coming out right now. It's not a Hawkbill. It is a Wharncliffe, but it's almost a Hawkbill. And it might have a tiny bit of hawk. Very nice. You're all mood up. You're all mood up. You got all mood. There's a pink and the moo. I like it. That's good. They don't want them to last long, so you have to buy new pairs in 6 months for sure. And they know that they'll sell. That's the thing. When a brand gets, and there's a lot of brands that get big and they continue keeping their prices at a reasonable place, but some companies, when they're selling out no matter what, even if they raise their price and lower their quality, and that's what they've done over the years. Nike's actually used to be pretty decent. They used to use better leather, but now that they're so fucking mass produced, there's so many of them, and they're constantly coming out with new trends, new styles, new this, new that. They just use the cheapest of the cheap for materials. Like I said, the thinnest leather you could put on anything is what they use. Sometimes it's not even real leather. Like a lot of times it's not. Now, there are some decent ones, like, and I don't mean good, better than shit. Like there are some Jordans where they actually use like a little bit of a thicker leather. But it almost always has plastic on them and like stuff on them, like chemicals and stuff, which there's only certain chemicals you want on your leather. Like say when they dyed this, right? That's an okay thing. It's just a dye. They're not putting like a film over the top to make sure my leather doesn't break down. And then also they melt, you know, like if you get a lighter to leather, it doesn't really melt. It burns and starts turning black and crispy. But if you do that to some Nikes or some Jordans, it's gonna like literally melt like plastic. The leather shouldn't do that. So I do have Ramet just gifted another 5 Neevesknives memberships. Thank you guys. Holy shit. That's awesome. We got 15 members from Ramet today. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. We need those members, man. We need the members. And what is it? This weekend we do have any members live. I'm supposed to hang out with somebody on Saturday night. Maybe I'll move it to Sunday, but I'm going to figure it out. We might move the members live to Friday night or just earlier on Saturday. My belt is fox leather. You mean fake leather, but it's thick. I don't know how much exactly, but it's hard to fold to lock it. There's a lot of great quality belts that are made out of synthetic materials. There's nothing wrong with that. Like some of the best belts you can wear are synthetic because they're made to be virtually indestructible. But thick leather like this is thick, not only wide, it's thick. So it's so strong and durable. You know, it's a lot different than, you know, just a regular, like we've all wore belts like our whole lives. You know the feeling when you put a quality belt on. And they are expensive, but when you think about how long it's going to last you, it's a lifetime belt. So yes, I got another one because I wanted a different color, but I'm just breaking in the first one I had, and I've had it for 2 years. It's a belt that will last you for the rest of your life. So since it's a belt that'll last you forever, is it that expensive? Because I used to buy $12 belts. That's how much my belts used to cost. And I would go through about 2 to 3 a year. So if these are $100, $125, and they're better quality, in meaning like they feel better, they're thicker, they hold your pants up better, they support your back better, they hold any things you have on your belt better. Yeah, it's worth the cost to me. I held the micro jumbo recently and found I like the Yojimbo too. I do wear XL gloves and found the micro jumbo similar to some razor blade products 4 times the cost. Yeah, I like the regular one too. The XL, the jumbo is pretty dope, but it's big. It's a big sumbitch. Hey, Lavender Pants, try to get your attention twice to say hello, John says. Pants, did you see John yelling your name? Jared, how do you feel about Timberlands? They are the reason I only buy inexpensive boots. They fell apart in like 3 months. Walmart boots last longer. Okay, so this is the thing. There's 2 different Timberlands. So the reason why is because you got the overseas Timberlands. Most Timberlands you see are made overseas. The ones that are good are the USA made ones. And you almost never see them. Most people don't even wear the USA made ones. A lot of people don't even know that there's a difference, but there is. And those ones are much more expensive. Those are the ones that are where the Timberland got their name. Well, once they got their name, kind of like we were just talking about with Nikes, well, then they were like, let's fucking mass produce these bitches. And then sent things overseas, started making 10 million a month. I don't know. And now they're shit. But if you want, what is it? Is it Timberland Pros? Oh man, I'm trying to think. Let me just look it up real quick. I think Timberland Pros are really good. If I might be wrong about that. I think I'm thinking of a different brand right now. Maybe I'm not. So the Timberland Pros are pretty good. I had a pair of those and they were really good. I think that's what it was. I feel like I'm thinking of a different brand though. Yes, the Timberland Pros. Yes. So the Timberland Pros are actual work boots. They are good. Those are good boots. They are a little bit more expensive. I'm not sure which kind you had. And it does depend on which one you get to and what you're doing. But those I found were pretty damn decent. Okay, so I do have something I want to share with you guys, a new fragrance. Let me just make sure. JD for EDC donated a membership. Shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. JD for EDC. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate that. And thank you, Todd, for the heads up because I did not see it. Timberlands are great for standing around looking good. If you want the best work boots, like, I don't want to say best. If you want really good work boots for the money, for the cheapest amount from the USA, because I say the best boots are made in the USA when it comes to like good boots, you know, like obviously there's going to be Italian and other companies, but for the majority, I think USA is where to go. And Thorough Goods are like 200 to 250 bucks, USA made, really good quality. They don't take any break-in time. You literally put them on and they're good to go right off the bat. Red Wings are some of my favorites. They do have a break-in time. So you have to plan about 100 to 200 hour break-in time. So when you first put them on, it's gonna hurt. Like, it will feel like shit. You're gonna regret buying your boots. You're gonna fucking put them on. You're gonna be like, I hate these things. But keep wearing them, and what happens is they soften up, and then it winds up becoming like a glove. And it literally, like my boots right now, like I went years wearing this one pair of boots, and when I switched over to something new because they were falling apart, I literally was just, all I could think about was my old boots because they were like falling apart. So I had to get a new pair, but they felt so damn good. But yeah, Red Wings are really good, but they're about $350 and up. I think there's some for like $250, but they typically are about $350 and up. And then Thursdays, this is the cheapest USA made boot you're going to get for the quality. It's about $200. USA made, good quality leather. Like I said, I think it's 2 millimeters thick leather. Typically you want you can go down to 1.5 millimeter, but typically for a quality boot, you want 1.5 and thicker. Or sorry, 2 millimeters and thicker. You can go as thin as 1.5, but typically that's only for like lightweight boots. Now, let's talk about what about Thursday mock toes. I haven't tried their mock toes, but I've tried their shoes, and I have a pair of their Chelseas, and now I have a pair of their Captains. So I don't know about the mock toes. I personally, right now, my favorite mock toe that I have a couple, is from Danner. Danner, the Bull Runs. Those are my favorite mock toes. I am 14 to 18 hours a day, Red Wing all the way. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's my favorite boot company right now. I love Red Wings. I've loved them forever. I've had many pairs of them, and yeah, I just absolutely love them. Kunwu Padre Van X pre-order on Blade HQ, I believe. Well, guess what? They're available right now on Kunwu's site. If you use my Kunwu link, they are. I don't know if you're going to be able to find one unless you use my direct link to their store. Wolverines are good. They got some good boots, really good boots. Yeah, I'm not going to talk shit. Hey, you know what's funny? BP Customs is in the house. I actually, I had his knife ready. I was going to talk about this knife. That's crazy that he just popped in. Jared, how's that cut healing from the from the foot? I didn't expect it to bite you so fast. Hey man, you know what? That's how you gotta. That's the only way to own it, really, right? I think it's a blessing when I get bit by my knife and it doesn't cut all the way through my foot. But no, dude, it's awesome, man. This thing is. What's up? What's up? It's back. I'm gonna thank you here in just a minute when I'm done. I love you. Thank you so much. That is such a lifesaver. Damn it, that is so awesome. I'm back, guys. I'm back. BP Custom Knives, definitely check him out. He's in the description right now. He's got some beautiful handle materials. I really like that. I think it's a vintage micarta. It's almost like a copperish look. It looks so damn good. But this stuff is pretty cool too. It's very smooth. Almost feels like marble. Because I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that's what it feels like. But extremely comfortable. It's like the perfect thickness, width, length, everything for your hand. Like, it's just perfect. He really thought these ergos out. Like, this is so comfortable. Great geometry, not too thin, not too thick. For an EDC fixed blade, no, I need it. I have to be able to see. I can't see nothing, baby. How can I talk to them? Well, here. Oh no, I can't, because if I move this, it'll unplug. What if I give you mine? Yeah, give me yours. Yeah, that's fine. So I do have, but yeah, check out BP Customs, guys. Check him out. Awesome knives, man. He's doing incredible work. Look at that plunge grind. That's how a plunge grind is done, right there. Look at that. Damn good plunge grind. And I love it when I see a guy making fixed blades that actually cares about that, because there are so many companies and just knife makers that do not. They don't think about the sharpener. And these are sharpened by hand, by the way. You can totally see that these are stone sharpened, you know, with a fixed angle system. But a lot of makers are not, and by the way, Magna Cut, a lot of makers are not sharpening knives. They don't really. It's weird too that lots of companies that make knives don't consider the sharpening. You know, it's like, how many times am I bitching about plunge grinds? How many times am I talking about clearance, right? Always. And, you know, and then also stop pin placement, you know, and I know Jacob Ludenquist the other day, I did that video on his knife design with QSP, and it's great, guys. It's an amazing knife design. Get it, get it, get it. It is awesome. But the one biggest problem is the stop pin placement. And he contacted me and said he's going to have them change it on the next batch. He's going to figure that out because it's literally right behind the edge. So now, how do you sharpen it? You're going to get some sharpenings out of it. I'm not saying it's like literally one sharpening in, but I want to get literally as many sharpenings as I possibly can, right? And if you put a stop pin very close to the edge, well, now how am I supposed to remove that steel? So, but you know, hey, he's realized it now, and they're gonna fix it. So, I realized the stop pin on the Vision FG is not a great spot. I can't see it without taking it apart. Oh, let me see. Oh yeah, you're right. I see it now. Yeah, it's right here. You're right. And I've sharpened this one about 4 times now, so it literally just got sharpened. So yeah, you're right. That one's not good either. A thief that actually stops in the middle of stealing to take off your laces to fit their big old thiefy footy. Did I say bitch? Bitch. I realized the stop pin. Oh yeah, I wrote down. So fragrance of the day is an absolute banger. Absolute banger. And I'm gonna tell you all about it, but I want to grab something really quick. So this fragrance is technically a roller, but it is a very, 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 very popular fragrance that is very, 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 very expensive. However, this is not expensive, but it's even better than the one that is expensive. So if you guys know about Creed Aventus, right? It's like a $400 fragrance, right? For just a regular bottle, $400 fragrance. Now, the thing with it is that it's very, very popular. Women love it. Men love it. It's an amazing fragrance. It's very masculine. But the fragrance kind of changed in 2013, 2014. So the original one is the most sought after. If you have an original bottle from 2013, like with a specific serial number, or like between a certain number, it's worth $10,000 to $15,000. $10,000 to $15,000, right? Well, that smell from that specific bottle from the 2013 edition is what we have here, except for it's like a reincarnated one in an oil. So these are nitro rollers. So these are even more potent and long lasting and everything, and have even better oils than what like the actual fragrance would use. That's a high quality fragrance, so their oils are really good in that fragrance. But these guys, if that company was selling this would be probably, you know, a 500, like not this size, but you know, a full bottle would be like probably $500 because it's that high quality of oils. Now this is, oh my goodness, that smells so good. Kara fucking was going crazy over this. She loves it. This is a leather wrap over the top. Now the number is number 27. Number 27, Musk. Let me show you guys. Musk and Hustle, number 27. Musk and Hustle, number 27. I put a bunch of them down there in the description. I do not know. You have to go through them and pick because they have sample batches. I didn't see any direct number 27s, but check them out. You might be able to find one down there. But my goodness, is this stuff good? It is like, I like Creed Aventus. I think it's good, This is way better. Baby, why would you give me a dead battery? It's dead.
It died?
Well, it's 10%.
Keep it on low power mode. You should be good.
Anyways, this stuff is very powerful. Very, it's so the top note is a pineapple. So it's a pineapple top note, but not like a super sweet pineapple. It's more like a pineapple plant with black currant. And I think there's some leathers in there. There's some smokiness. It's a super masculine, fresh, citrusy fragrance for a man. You can go watch street reviews on it. I watched one the other day. They took 3 very popular fragrances, and that fragrance won, like, it dominated. Like, there was like the other 2 bottles wound up getting like 2 or 3 picks out of like 15 people. All like maybe I think it was like 10 or 12. All of them, the overwhelming majority, and these were all women, picked that stuff, this stuff, overwhelmingly. And their reaction to it was like, you know, you've seen the reaction. Their reaction was very, very, whoever has the fragrance felt really good when you seen their reaction. Like, they were like super hyped. But the point is that for this little bottle, this oil is going to last you a long time. You just literally just dab-a-doo, 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 dab-a-doo. That's it. And it'll last you. It's very powerful. It's good quality oils, and it smells fucking amazing. Now, Musk and Hustle has a couple other ones I really like. It's the same company that where I got my ombre leather. That stuff's fire too. That's like a sweet leather. I love that stuff. I forget what number that one is. I think it's 201, number 201, I think. You can double check that, ombre leather. Now, if you already have, say, Creed Aventus, right? Or maybe you don't have Creed Aventus, but you want to spray. You don't want to roll it. You're like, I don't fuck with rollers. You can always try Mancera, Cedrat Boise. This stuff is basically spray form of this. This is basically a knockoff of Creed Aventus because there's no such thing as cloning a scent. It's beautiful. It's a great scent. This is a high quality. This is more of a niche type of line that you can get affordably, Mancera. I like Mancera's fragrances. Their oils are always really good. They're usually pretty long lasting, at least for me. Magnetic top. But this stuff, you can see, and it's got a pressurized sprayer. But yeah, really good shit. But like I said, though, with this to me is even better. The smell is better. They're both really good, though, man. They're both really good. They're almost identical, but you do smell something about this one that's a little bit richer. It's a little bit smokier. It has a little bit more depth to it. It's just and more appealing. Like, Kara was like, as soon as she smelled it, she was like, that's my favorite one. And yeah, and I have her trying fragrances all the time. Now, there's another fragrance company that I did not put down in the description, and I should have. Maybe I'll do that really quick. Alexandria. This is Game Time. So this would be this fragrance and then another very popular fragrance mixed. Baccarat Rouge 540 and Creed Aventus mixed into a bottle. It is basically like, it's a sweet version of this. So it's like this with a lot of sweetness in there. So it's like, it's kind of weird because it's, I wouldn't think sweetening this up would be so good, but it is. It's like, it adds like a fruity sweetness in there. So it's like a little more playful while still being very masculine. This is $42 for this. And this is really, like I said, the 2 companies that are mixed in here, the bottle's like $400. So this is very high quality stuff, but it's not from that brand. It's from this brand. This brand basically remade it and made their own version of it. And there's a lot of clone companies out there for fragrances because, like I said, you can't patent a fragrance that suck. They suck. They suck. They are cheap quality. The oils are cheap. This stuff is high quality oils. I'm telling you, they do a really good job. Alexandria, check them out. They're not spending a lot on the bottle, so don't think you're getting a high quality bottle. It's the stuff in the bottle that counts. All right, so let's check out some comments. Sorry, guys, I got a little Lavender Pants says, I think they stopped making the cologne I use. I can only find bottles of it online for like $500. What fragrance was it? 10,000? The fuck? They lost the recipe? No. So what happened? I don't know. So supposedly, I don't know exactly the reason why. So something happened, and like fragrance companies do this all the time, where they'll have a fragrance, right? And then out of nowhere, they'll change something. And that thing that they change, they don't tell anybody, they don't say anything, but everybody knows. And they'll like, people will be like, why the fuck did they change this? And then because people will have like, this is my first bottle that I got in, 2024. And this is my second bottle that I got in 2028, right? And this 2028 one sucks compared to this one, or at least it doesn't have like that thing that one has, even though it's the same everything that they say. And it's because they evolve something. Sometimes they put something in there that's maybe, I don't know, maybe made to make something last longer, or maybe it's to stop something, or who knows? Who knows the reason? But it winds up changing the fragrance ever so slightly. So yes, the 2013 line with specific serial codes are highly sought after. And like I said, if you have one, $10,000 to $15,000 is what they're going for, which is crazy. Isn't France the birthplace of scents? Yes. Thank you, Todd. There is my Kunwu link. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And if you guys want to check out anything from Alexandria, just go to my Neevesknives store and just type in Alexandria fragrance on the top search bar. If you want game time, just type game time in. And yeah, that shit's really, really good and very affordable. Made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good. That's funny. Is this Sex Panther? Oh, that's the name of it. 60% of the time it works every time. Much respect to Blade Walker, he spells my name correctly. I'm gonna get some sleep. All right. Good night, Haven. Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate your support, man. I do have that new Jack Wolf. I still haven't shown it on the channel because, like I said, I am backed up. Mont Blanc Legend is what I'm using right now. I've heard a lot of good things about that one. I've never tried it, so I can't speak on it, but I have heard some great things about it. Let's unbox this Jack Wolf really quick. So I got the Jack Wolf Mini Cyborg. I do have the big. Is it the Cyborg? Yeah. I do have the big Cyborg right here, which I actually really like this. I'm not the biggest clip point fan, but this is cool. This is really cool. Very ergonomic for such a small, slim knife. The walk and talk, beautiful. And it's very, very slicey. This one's M390 because this is the old one. The new one has S90V and is a mini. And the new one I have has a stone wash instead of the satin. I like deep satins better. I love the look of a deep satin, man. I love it. The stone wash is really nice, though. They do a good job with their stone wash. This is like, I'm not gonna say different, but it has like a look to it that I really like. It's like, it's heavily etched. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. It's heavily etched, and it has like this from the stones, doing the stone wash, it has like these scratches in there that look really consistent and really good, but they're not too close to each other, so they're kind of spread apart. It just has a unique look for a stone wash. I like it. This one, the walk and talk. Yeah, these things are super slicey, like 8,000ths behind the edge or something like that, maybe less. Just depends on which one. Some of them, man, I've measured it like 5,000ths behind the edge, like just insanely thin, which is really cool. But these are available right now. There's multiple different versions. I think there's 5 or 6 different color options. You can find them in the Blade HQ link, possibly the GP Knives link, but definitely at Blade HQ, linked down in the description. Jack Wolf knives, in my opinion, are the best slip joints you can get, especially if you want modern traditionals where it has the traditional style, traditional bolsters, traditional build, but with premium quality materials, with high-end or premium steels, premium handle materials, titanium, fat carbon fiber, S90V. And yeah, they're not the cheapest. They are definitely cost, but they're really, really good. All right, so I did want to do a little bit of story time before we get out of here. So I guess right now is the time for that. I still want to know what knife Kara is currently carrying and what is the one on her wish list.
That little bean shape, or it's that little slim, I don't know what the hell it's called. I think it's a punch shake up. I'll just throw it over here.
Well, she was carrying this the other day. I stole it from her. The nip. I think that's what it's called.
That's what I was just reaching for.
That's a Devo knife.
No, not that.
Lefty EDC.
No, not that.
And Colin. It's cool though. So this one's actually pretty dope. Very thin, really good geometry. Oh, you're gonna break something. Nice flipping action, great reverse flick. Nice, beautiful satin. This one's got the purple fat carbon fiber with the purple titanium. You can see the Devo carbon farb. You guys remember carbon farb? I know you do.
Like 16 of us.
You do. What slips were popular before Jack Wolf? Nothing really on their level. They pay well. So Pena. What? So the only thing I can think of is customs though. Oh, she's been carrying the Oletons. This is a good one too. I like this thing. Look at this. This thing, look at how thin that blade is. Watch this. It is literally like super, super smooth.
It reminds me of Serge.
Serge Penchico?
Yeah.
We're gonna see him soon. I'm thinking about selling my Rook. I got a Serge Penchico Rook. What?
The Rook as in the one that's very similar to the my just all-time grail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can literally go chop off your nuts before you sell that knife. Please don't. Deal. Oh, we can use the spay point to chop your nuts off.
Oh yeah, good thinking. Did HAP 40 come before Rex 45? I don't know. I'm not sure when either one of them came out. What are you doing?
I was trying to cut and it just came with me.
What was I about to say? I was about to say something. Oh, the slips. Pena did custom, so they have custom slip joints that were pretty popular, and also front flippers. Who else? But yeah, you're right. There wasn't very many. There was sold GECs and stuff like that. That's the most popular ones. But as far as premium materials with vintage or older designs, yeah, there wasn't very many. There was a couple. There's a couple companies that have done it, but none of them were like the line of them, like where that's all they did. So it's pretty cool. He found a little market, a little niche. Have I smelled the Cupid cologne? No, I'm not even sure what that one is. Cupid cologne. Purple Nurple right now. Is that what you guys call this one? Is this the Purple Nurple? Is that what this is? But let's see here. So story time. Let's do a little story time. This is gonna be a quick one though. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but I thought of it because me and Kara were talking about it earlier. And it was about, and I've told, a couple of the stories on the channel before. Maybe I'll add in a couple other ones that I haven't. But I'm smoking some Purple Nurple. So it's about when I was on probation and I used to have to go do drug tests. So obviously when you're on probation, and also before I even got on probation, when you're going into courts and you haven't finished, being convicted yet or anything like that. And this was way before I ever even got charged with any of my felony stuff. I was on pre-trial. So you have to leave court and you have to go to pre-trial, and which is hooked up to the jail. So what they do is you have to go in there and you have to pee. And, the doors are locked. So if you fail, you're not getting out. The door is right there, taking you right to jail. Because what'll happen is you'll leave the judge, you'll go into pretrial, and when you go to pretrial, you have an opportunity to run. because you get to walk out of court. You're outside. Nobody's watching you. Nobody's bringing you. And you have to walk to pretrial. And once you walk into pretrial, as soon as you close that door, you're locked. It's locked. You're locked in. So if you're going to do your running, you better do it before you walk in there. Meaning like, or just don't walk in there. That's what I'm trying to say. Because once you're in there, you're fucked. So I had to go over there. And the thing is that since you just leave the judge, going in there, when you piss dirty, you're going right back in front of the judge. Like, right away. So he's going to look you in the eyes after looking you in the eyes 2 minutes ago. Anyways, so I was on pretrial and I had to go over there and piss. The problem was I was dirty. I was very dirty. I was so dirty, there was no possible way I was passing any drug test. So and you know what, a couple other stories before we get to this one, because, you know, this one's the real story. There was a couple other times, like I was talking to Kara earlier, where like my lawyer was, we were in like the stairwell of the court thing, you know, and I'd go to court, you know, he'd show up with me, we talk to the judge, whatever. And I'm supposed to, after talking to the judge, I'm supposed to go over to the probation office and I'm supposed to piss, right? And if I fail, I have to come right back. They'll escort me back over. And this isn't pretrial anymore. It's a little bit different. Pretrial is hooked up to the jail. Probation's across the street. It's just different. But you still have to do the same thing. Anyways, I know I'm supposed to go. I know it, and I know I'm supposed to go. I just get done with the judge, and he says, all right, I'll see, you know, whatever. He gives me my next court date or whatever, knowing that I'm supposed to go across the street, but he doesn't say it. He didn't say it. I'm supposed to know this. He doesn't have to say it. But as soon as I got in the stairwell, I know I'm going to fail the drug test. So I tell my lawyer I'm not going. And he just looks at me like, what? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why aren't you going? And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going over there. And then he was like, you know, he's like, why are you dirty? I was like, yes, I am dirty. He's like, well, you know, it's going to be worse for you. He's like, if you go in front of the judge, he'll probably let you go. And I said, yeah, but he might not. He might not. And it's not worth the risk today. Today I got shit to do. So I told him that, and he was like, you know, it's mandatory that you're supposed to go. I said, yeah, but he didn't say it, did he? And he's seen that that's the angle I was going to work with. But he was like, well, you know, as soon as you leave here within 15 minutes, you're going to have a warrant. And I was like, I know. And I said, and that's why I need you to talk to them and call them right after that warrant is issued within, like, you know, so many hours or whatever. I need you to contact them and tell them that I did not know I was supposed to go over there. It actually worked. It's crazy. I did get a warrant. Don't get me wrong. I did get a warrant, and I did have to turn myself in. I had to do all that bullshit, but it wound up working into my favor where they, you know, it wasn't shit. Now back to pretrial. So this is did happen many times, by the way, you know, like just like, you know, the getting out of them and stuff. But now I walk into pretrial and I'm locked in. Doors are shut. The only way I'm getting out is if they push the button, and it's not like I can go manhandle them and push the button myself because they're behind protected glass with guns. So I'm in the back room and I am trembling with fear because I know two things. One, I know I'm going to fail without a shadow of a doubt. And I know number two, I'm going to jail. And when I go to jail, I'm going to go through severe withdrawals. So the fear of going into withdrawals makes you do crazy shit. Let me tell you, some crazy shit. So I sat there in pretrial for about 2 hours plotting this shit. My nephew, shout out to my nephew, he's actually locked up right now. I'm going to try to help him when he gets out. But he was outside, like, waiting for me, like, because, you know, me and him were together. And he looked at me. He already knew I was smoked. Like, he's like, oh, this dude's smoked. But I gave him the finger, like, hang on. I might have a plan. He looked at me and gave me the nod, like, all right, all right. And so I started thinking, because I got a camera right here. There's a camera right here. Here's the door to go to jail, or in front of the court, in front of the judge, and then to jail. The camera's facing right here. The guys that give you the test, they're like in this room right here. So they're like in and out, and there's a line of us on a wall. So there's like 6 guys or something, you know, 5 or 6 guys. And we're like just lined up on a wall sitting, and basically like when you're ready to pee, like, cause you know, a lot of times you're not ready. So they'll give you water, drink water, whatever, but you're not leaving until you pee. So you're going to have to pee, and they'll sit there all night. But anyway, so I sat there so long because I'm sitting there thinking, like, how can I get away with this? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I'm stewing, thinking. What can I do? I'm plotting shit. I'm looking at the ceiling, like, how can I get through the ceiling? You know, and I'm not exaggerating when I say shit like that. Like, that's literally where your brain goes. You start thinking of the most craziest escape routes and shit like that. After I fail, how can I get out of it? Like, things like that, like all kinds of shit. So this kid was sitting next to me, and he was a little green. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. That it was a good thing, good for him. But obviously on probation, it was probably some bullshit. You know, you could tell he wasn't a bad kid or whatever. And I knew, like, this is my best shot. This is my best shot, is to talk to him. And I just asked him, I said, "Are you clean?" He's like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, yes. And I told him, I was like, "Can you please?" And I told him I'd pay him. I told him I'd do whatever. I said, "Will you please?" Because, okay, so really quick, just to break down how it works. When you walk into the bathroom, they're standing right next to you, damn near looking at your dick. They want to see it. They want to watch you. I think that's why they get that job. They like it. Anyway, so they go in the bathroom with you and watch you pee. Now, when you're done, you walk it out. You are carrying it. You bring it over to a table. They set it down. They put a little strip of paper in it, and then they zap it with a laser for temperature to make sure the temperature's right. Make sure you didn't fake it, because a lot of people have tried using leg bags and all kinds of shit. My brother-in-law actually got caught from that. He used like one of those catheter bags, like for like peeing in, you know, for like paraplegics. He took one of my dad's, and he actually used that. And it actually, oh no, sorry. It was one of those fake penis ones, I think. What? I don't remember, but he wound up getting caught eventually, but it did work a bunch of times. Anyways, so where was I? So after they laser it and they check, you know, and see that it's clean or dirty, then they tell you to pour it out. They don't care about it after that. Once that's done, they're done with you. You know what I mean? Like if you piss dirty, then you're going to have to obviously go through that door. But what I mean is, like, with the pee. Before that, they're very strict about it, because that's the part that matters, right? So I kind of knew that. Well, I asked the kid, I said, "Listen, I'm going to go in there and act like I'm trying to go to the bathroom or something." And I said, "I'm going to throw a bunch of paper towels in the garbage can." And I was like, "Can you please?" And I just begged him, because I know this is risky. I know, like, that if he gets caught, or if he's scared or nervous or anything like that, you get in a lot of trouble when you fuck around in places like that. So, like, you get hit way harder. Like, they will make a fucking example out of you. Yeah, you'll get a felony easily. And so anyway, so I begged him. I said, "Please, when you go to dump your pee out," I was like, "pour it on top of the garbage." I said, "Just pour it on top of the garbage and flush the toilet and act like you flushed it." And he agreed. He actually agreed. And I was like, thank God. I didn't think it was going to work yet. I honestly didn't. I really didn't think it was going to work yet, because I still, at this point, I'm not even close to succeeding. I still have to swipe a cup, right? Because you don't get to just stand there with your cup, right? Because otherwise you could do shit. So I got to swipe a cup and I got to get those paper towels. I got to squeeze them into this damn cup. And then I have to get it to them to test fast enough that the temperature doesn't go down and shit like that. Well, since I had already been in there for like 2 hours because of me stalling in order to to figure a plan out, my guy left. So he left and left a different guy in charge of me. And this worked in my favor. He was an older gentleman. He didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit about nothing. Like, he's past retirement. Like, he's like, "I don't even know why I'm still here." That guy. So Yeah, he still does his job, but not to the point like the last guy, the guy that was going to originally do it, which everybody knows and everybody always talks about. Like, this fucking guy will hawk, like he'll look at your dick like a hawk. Like, he wants to see it. Like, he like that. This older guy, he ain't trying to look. He's literally like 2 feet behind you, like looking down at his phone or something. I don't know. Maybe not his phone. That'd be weird. He'd probably be taking pictures and shit. Anyways, but so it worked in my favor. So what I did was I swiped the cup. And luckily that guy left. The one guy said that's crazy left. So now I got this other guy. So it's a little bit easier to do this now. Swipe the cup. I walk in the bathroom, and I'm not supposed to have the cup in the bathroom right now, right? Because, you know, obvious reasons. But they didn't see me because they're inside that room. Swiped it. I squeezed it, got it in there, got just enough in there. And I came out. And then what I did was the bottom, you know, it's just a little bit at the bottom. I took my middle finger around the bottom and then held it like this. So you couldn't see there was liquid at the bottom, piss at the bottom. And then, and I said, hey, I'm ready, you know, so that they could see it was an empty cup. I have an empty cup still. There's nothing in here, but really it's underneath my finger. And I said, I'm ready. And so he's like, all right. He walks in there, and then I pretend to pee. I actually did pee a little bit, but I had to pretend to pee in a cup. And when I walked out, my biggest fear was it had been a little bit. So I was like, man, the temperature's gonna be fucked. He did not check the temperature because, like I said, he just didn't give a shit. It's the end of the day. He's old. He's ready to go home. And he checked that, he drug tested it, right? And then seeing it was clean and said, all right, you're good to go. And that, when I walked out, that's the feeling of life. I'm telling you, like, you're telling me, like, not only do you feel like a genius afterwards, but you literally feel like you just got away with like a bank robbery or something. Like the type of adrenaline you get from something like that, it should almost have its own name. My nephew, when I walked out, was like, holy, what? He's like, how the fuck did you do that? Like, because he was just expecting me to go to jail. He kept checking and seeing that I was still there. He knew he couldn't leave, right, if I was still sitting there. Once I'm gone and he don't see me no more, he knows that I'm smoked, right? And that's cool. Like, you know, if I'm smoked, I'm smoked. He's got to go. But if I'm sitting there, that means I still got a chance. So I need him there, and he knows it. And so he was waiting for me, and it worked out. Now, that's the same nephew. I told you guys that story where my house got raided, and I hid in the secret spot in my house. And he was the one that was there, but he didn't know about this secret room I fucking made inside my house. I was all right, exactly. That's why I brought this up, because this time, like, you know, the cops came in with dogs and all this shit. And where I was at was in the basement. I had this hole underneath the floor where I could crawl through, and then I had this thing set up to block it, so you would never even see it. You couldn't see it. It was around inside of a closet and under the stairs. So like, it was literally like you'd have to really, really look in there to even find the hole, and you wouldn't. The dogs, they're not going to smell me in there. They're not even going to, my scent's all over the house, so they're not going to track me in there or anything. So the dogs came in, and he watched them go downstairs with the dogs, and he's just like, he's fucked. Well, when they came back up and they didn't have me, my nephew's like, what the fuck? He starts trying to think, like, did he jump out of a window? Like, where'd he go? Like, how did he get away? And he's like, and they're pissed. The cops are pissed because they knew I was in there, or at least they thought. And then now they're convinced that I've already ran. Like, I jumped out of a window, I'm gone. Like, there's no catching me. I got away. And since I had already slipped through their fingers so many times, they knew it was just like my, what would I say? My nothing. Your MO, my MO. They already knew that was my MO. So when I came out, my nephew's like, what the fuck? He's like, I thought you jumped out of a window or something. He's like, I didn't know where you went. And he's like, you've been here this whole time? He's like, how did you not get caught? And I was just standing there smiling. He's like, got away with it. But yeah, the point was that, like, I was constantly surprising him. Like, how the fuck did you do that? You damn sure should have been caught by the dogs. But yeah, fun. What? The dog, so before that, or no, it was after that, they sent the dogs on me again, this time on foot. And I actually outran them again. All of them. Multiple police, dogs, everything. Because I know how. Because it's pretty simple. It's called fences. You jump fences and you don't stop, never stop. So the thing is that when a cop clears a fence, they almost always have to check. So because they don't want to jump over the fence and then you hide in the yard and then them keep going. So the plan is you just keep going, never stop. You never stop, you keep fucking going. If you stop, you're caught. Don't stop. And you want to jump fence after fence after fence after fence. As many fences as you can. Dogs can't jump the fence. They need the officer to come help them. Some of them can, but typically they don't. Especially like really tall ones. Typically they'll wait for the owner to come or the master. And plus the master's not just going to usually let the dog just run, you know, and not know if he's going to get shot or something. Another thing is that obviously, you know, you run until, right? So you do have to stop at times. And with me, I had to run and I had to stop and hide in this area and watch the cops circle me for a second. I couldn't move because if I moved, they would see me. So I had to keep like a position for so long. And then once I knew like that, okay, they did their, because what they do is they have cops on foot and then they have the squad car that goes in a circle around like the area. And they'll basically do that. So once you see that the squad go by, you know you have so long until he comes back around. Anyways, but yeah, I wound up getting away. And then later on, when I did wind up getting popped, they came and seen me. And the one guy was like, giving me props, and he was talking about this other officer wanting to meet me because like I was the only guy who had ever beat him in a foot race, or not beat him in a foot race, but got away from him. And I wasn't like that. I wasn't happy to hear that at all, to be honest. I was so miserable. It's like, I'm fucked. I'm in jail. Like, I'm smoked. And he's sitting here smiling, not smiling because I'm caught, smiling because he's happy to meet me because how much I pissed off that other guy. And he was so happy about that. He loved how pissed off this other officer was that he lost. And he was like, he wants to come and meet you. So stupid. I hid in the motherfucking sewer. I've done that too. We used to have one that it's still there. There's this pipe that runs under the entire it's a city, but it's a small city, and it runs underneath it. So it basically runs, so there's a water plant eventually, and that's where I think it goes, I'm pretty sure. But it's literally just a pipe and you can walk through it. Like it's so long, like you get about 100 feet in and you look back and you can just see like a little light hole, right? And when you look forward, pit darkness, like you can't see nothing. So you have to have flashlights. Now you get to certain points where you can look up out of the sewers. So, and I've never seen too many of these. This is like the only one that I've ever seen quite like that. Because usually when you look down the sewer, you can see where it ends. You can see there's a pipe right there. It's just pipes going to a sewer. But there are some sewers that are made for like heavy water. And that's what this is for. So you can actually, there's a ladder going all the way up to the sewer. Just like the ones in like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Making felons great again. That's hilarious, Chris. Bro, I would have had my nuts in my throat. Oh yeah, you definitely do. You jump fence after fence and don't hide the dog. And don't hide the dog smells. Yeah, exactly. Right. You keep jumping because they can't clear the fences like you can, and they have to search. So the reason why I was able to get away that time, and they told me afterwards, because they tried doing a bunch of little tactics, and thing is I kind of knew their tactics. So they thought that when I jumped the fence, I hid. So their thing was when they jumped the fence, they searched. Well, I wasn't in that yard more than 1.5 seconds. I can promise you that, as I was so fast, like literally, like your adrenaline's pumping so much. Like I almost feel like I didn't even touch the fence when I jumped it. Like I just literally, like I look like an alien probably jumping over it. I'm obviously exaggerating. I did, you know, touch the fence, but that's the way it feels. You're over it so fast. Like I can, when I got, you know, when you got something, you know, a reason to run for your life, you can do unbelievable things. You really can. A fence is nothing. And sometimes you might think about it right now, like, yeah, if I tried to jump a fence, it'd be pretty tough. Yeah, until you fucking have to. And then when you,
Stories about moms lifting up cars and shit.
yeah,
Their kids with
it is kind of like that too. Yeah. The adrenaline dump you have and the type of strength you have in those moments, it's insane. I've told this story this one time, the first time, well, not the first time, but it was like one of the first times. I was a little ass kid, and I didn't get popped by the cops, but there was like this guy, he was blaming me for some shit, and the cops were coming to arrest me or whatever, right? And they were going to be pulling up any second. And they were probably pulling in when I ran out. Well, I ran out and I broke the door because I hit it so hard. That it was a glass door to a gas station. It opened up and smashed and shattered. And not shattered, pieces fell, but broke, right? So it's smashed open and broke from me hitting it so hard. And I literally, the door was like from here to here. It was really close. It's a little tiny shithole gas station. And the guy, like, I was just a little kid, and he thought I was stealing or something outside. He thought I went into this, because when we rode up on our bikes, this back door was open. We never even went in there. Like, don't get me wrong, we were planning on stealing some shit, but we didn't. And and then he came out and started blaming us for stealing shit. And then told us to get inside, or told me to get inside as he saw me. So he picked me, and my buddy was just rolling around on a bicycle. He's passed away now. But so he had me in there. He called the cops, and he's sitting there like just talking mad shit. And I'm looking outside to my buddy Pork Chop, and he's like, like, come on. So I sprung, hit the door, and I'm a kid, guys. You guys don't remember, I'm a kid at this time. So when I turned the corner, there was a fence, a 6-foot wooden fence, and I cleared it so fast. Like, that's when I realized what adrenaline will do to you at those times. I jumped that fence so fast, and then I wound up in these woods. I don't know this area. I've barely lived here long at all. Like, this was a new town for me, knew everything. I didn't know the area, and I was running so fast, I was falling every 3 steps because it's the woods, you can't see. So I'm like, but when I hit the ground, I'm going so fast, it's almost like a basilisk lizard, like the Jesus lizards that are running across water. It's kind of like that. Your legs are moving so fast that when you fall, you're still running. So it's like bam, but you're like right back up and going. And it's literally like a fucking cartoon when you think about it. But I fell probably 40 times in, maybe 300 feet, 400 feet. I don't know how far it was. And yeah, and branches, wham, hitting me in the face and everything. But you take it all. And that's why I know, like, with certain people, like when you see those guys in real life getting shot 16, 17 times and not doing nothing, like just literally taking it, like the adrenaline, man. Adrenaline can make you do crazy things. You don't even understand how strong you can be with when, especially like she was just talking about a second ago, like when something happens to your child, and you have to spring into action and use strength or anything like that to save them, the things that you're capable of doing, it's crazy. Because you're willing to die for it, basically, which is crazy to say from, like, when you think about certain things, like you're willing to die for that. And not saying for a kid, but for like other reasons that I'm talking about. And it's like, no, not really, but you feel like your body still has the same reaction, that it's life or death. Yep, when the dogs are chasing you, flip right over that fence like it ain't even there. Yep. And hit that next one, hit the next one, and hit the next one. One after another. One time, a cop pulls up to me as I was walking, and I was at his passenger side window. I knew he was going to get out and search me, so I rolled a full rig under his car as he was getting out. Fuck yeah. That's so funny. I did almost the same exact thing. It was with a bag of dope, though. My buddy, I saved my buddy's life, so he didn't wind up dying. Well, he's dead now, but my buddy died on me, and I was doing CPR on him, and he's strapped. There's fucking guns. He's got drugs. Well, the cops are coming. I know they're coming. We're in the middle of an intersection. I did CPR on him, and I couldn't get him to come back. Finally, you know, when the cops got there with the ambulance, they shot him up and got him back after like 3 shots. You know, and the cops even told him like that I saved his life. But what happened was when the cops got there, I know they're going to be here any second. Like, I already know the deal. I've been dealing with this shit for too long. I know the routine. And when they come, they are going to investigate me like it's my fault. And so I literally dropped. So there's people everywhere around me, right? Because, you know, you're in the middle of like a city and a four-way stop. It was a 4-way stoplight right in the middle of like downtown. And so there's people everywhere. People are all, you know, hovering around. And I fucking had my bag. I like let it fall, like let it come out of my pocket while I'm like trying to shake my buddy. So like at the same time while I'm saving his life, I'm consciously thinking that I'm going to go to jail if I don't get rid of this bag out of my pocket because they're almost here. You can hear the sirens. So I dropped it while I was in the middle of this commotion. And as soon as it hit the ground, I stepped on it and I scooted it over like underneath the truck. Now, one of the reasons why is because they're going to search the ground. They're going to search the ground for a fresh bag, a fresh whatever. Luckily, I was lucky because it was in paper and my boot mark was on it now. Once you put mark, like it looks old now. Now it just looks like garbage on the street. But when you have a fresh bag or a fresh thing down there, fresh little package down there, then they're going to get it. So because it was under the truck and it blended in with the pavement because now it's got a cleat mark on it, they did look, but they just went right past it, you know. So got lucky as fuck. And even times like that are so nerve-wracking because you're thinking, if this guy sees me, he's going to tell the cops like, hey, he threw something under there, you know, or maybe the cops are going to look at that camera. Maybe, you know, you have all the maybes in the world. Maybe they already see me right now, you know, because of the commotion, you know, you don't know exactly where they're watching from sometimes. Todd says, accident adrenaline is crazy. Seeing people walk away looking normal from horrible accidents before collapsing. Yeah. Well, whiplash is a real thing. I've even had that when I sprained my neck. I fell through a roof and wound up spraining my neck, but I didn't know my neck was sprained because I continued to work for the next day. So that I didn't go to sleep that night and I still went to work the next day doing concrete. So then the following day, I finally went to sleep that night. And when I went to sleep, when I woke up, I couldn't move. Like literally, I'm talking about insane amounts of pain. And my head was stuck this way. I literally was stuck for like 2 weeks, just like this. If I was in a car, I was looking out the window. And there was nothing I could do. And yeah, it was a sprained neck. And I got it from that accident. But, you know, I thought I was fine. Must have been a small paper bag. Yeah, no, it's just like, you know, it's like a little folded up. And you just take a little fold it up, fold it over, you know, and then fold it a couple times. Just depends on how big the bag is, but it wasn't that big, but you'd be surprised what can fit in just a little square like that. But yeah, that's what it was. I've never been able to hide a gram. Yeah, you can. Fuck, I went into jail one time with a fucking, I think it was a half a gram, but it could have been a gram. I wish it was a gram. But yeah, you know what you got to do with it. The same way any type of drugs gets into jail. I was lucky because I was going to jail off of a warrant and I had the drugs on me. So I stashed it in a place because I know I'm going to jail. Like there's no, like the cops are going to let me go. Sometimes I might, I actually think I did try not saying who I was, but they ran me and figured it out. Anyway, so, but then I wound up having fucking drugs on me in the jail for however long I was in there. Eventually you got to go get sick though. So it just prolongs it. But sometimes it is good because you at least get to, because the worst thing is like the first couple days, man. The first couple days are just a nightmare. So, you know, I guess it's kind of good. And rip it up like a motherfucker, just plastic pieces. Tried chucking a bag under a car once, didn't work, ended up right in front of the cop's foot. I had one time fall out of my pant leg as the cop was putting me in the car, and I felt it sliding down my pant leg because they had already searched me. What happened? I jocked it. They searched me. They thought I jocked something. Well, since I could feel the bag was falling down my pant leg, I knew the cop just wanted to see my dick, right? Because he wanted to make sure that I didn't jock anything, right? That's his biggest thing. He didn't stash anything in his underwear. So that's what he wants. And he keeps searching me. He's searching me heavier and heavier and heavier. And these are meg agents. So I knew if I just show him my dick, it'll end it all. He'll stop. Show him my ass, show him my dick, he'll stop. And I know he's not going to see the bag because the bag is on my ankle right now. And I don't want him to go down there now. I don't want him to go and check my ankle again because he's already searched me 4 times. Like, he literally just keeps coming back and fucking with me. So when I did that, I was like, oh, you want to see my dick? And I just showed it to him. And then he stopped. And he stopped searching me. But then he went to put me in the car, even though I wasn't getting arrested. Just put me in the car while they searched the vehicle I was in. It fell out of my pant leg on the road. And all I'm thinking about, I'm just sitting there thinking, like, he's gonna see it when he lets me out of this fucking car. And thank God he came to the other side when he let me out. To the other side. So he wound up letting me out the other side. So he never saw it. And I had somebody go and pick it up later on that night off the road, off the side of the road. So they didn't see it the entire time. But that's funny. My buddy boofed a script of Xanax and was giving him out in jail like a dumbass. Yeah, you want to savor those things. Gotta use before withdrawal, prevent the hide hole from being rendered unusable. Gotta use before withdrawal, prevent the hide hole from being rendered unusable. I'd never be able to hide it. You can, you'd be surprised. Just sniff it and lick the back. No, yeah, I mean, you typically double, triple bag things, so you know you can get things sanitary really quickly and really easily. You know, typically it's not as nasty as you think, but you know, hey, it is very nasty though. I'm not saying it's not nasty. I'm saying it's very nasty, but you know, hey, when you're locked up, man, you're doing what you got to do, and everybody does what they have to do. So don't get it twisted. Nobody, you know, like people say so many things like what they would or wouldn't do. You don't know what the fuck you would do. I love hearing when people tell me they wouldn't do this, they wouldn't do that. It's like, yeah, you wouldn't until you're in this situation, right? And not saying like my same situation, I'm saying the situation, whatever that is, you know. Like you'd be surprised, like say even like stealing. Like I always use this one, right? You know, stealing and stuff like that. Like nobody wants to be a thief, but I promise you, if your kid's starving, looking you in the eyes, saying that they are starving and they're crying and they're hungry, and you have no way to put anything in their mouth, and it's been so long that now it's getting dangerous, you're gonna fucking do whatever you have to do. I promise you. No, it was a weird Marine cop. That was probably gas. Benzos are the worst. Definitely don't want to get hooked on those bad boys. No, you don't want to get hooked on any of them, man. None of them are good, man. All of them are bad, but obviously some are worse withdrawals than others. But yeah, Xanax can be really bad. You can go into seizures getting off of them. Alcohol is really bad. Obviously, heroin is really, really bad. Pain pills is bad, but it's not as nowhere near as bad as heroin. And then, you know, like other drugs that are similar, other opiate type drugs are all real hard. But when you go to jail, at least here, I can't speak for other counties and other cities and other places, but if you tell them you are an alcoholic, they'll give you Valiums. So not for a long time, but for like the first week, maybe, yeah, basically the first week, they'll a week and a couple days, they'll give you Valiums in order to prevent you from going into it with seizures. Because that's what happens with alcoholics is they'll go into seizures and it can be dangerous. So in order to prevent that, they'll actually give you Valiums, but nothing else. And what sucks is you can literally be as dope sick as possible. They ain't giving you nothing. You're going to get vitamins. So that Valium is a very important thing to get. if you go in there and you find out you didn't tell them that you were an alcoholic, so now you're not getting volumes and you're sitting there dope sick or you're going through severe withdrawals, you are so angry at yourself because you're like, if I could have just had that, if I could have just had that, because that is a lifesaver at that time. Because you don't sleep, you ain't sleeping, you're not gonna sleep for a couple weeks. When you go through withdrawals, man, it's no fucking joke, man. It literally it takes a lot out of you. You won't eat, you won't sleep, you can't sit still. You're hot and cold, hot and cold. You got goosebumps like crazy. You can't stop sneezing and yawning. Your stomach hurts, diarrhea. Your eyes are constantly watering and it's painful. It's not like regular, like if my eyes were watering right now, I wouldn't give a shit. But at that time, it's so painful. It's weird how that happens to you. And then you get these chills up your spine where you're constantly getting goosebumps, and it's painful goosebumps. Your skin feels like it's crawling. And you just want to fucking claw it off. You just want to get rid of it. Like, get out, get me out of this skin. So one trick that helps is because some of the worst part is the hot and cold. Your body can't regulate temperature. So what happens is you're freezing, right? And then so like you'll put something on, and then as soon as you put something on, you're so hot, you got to get it off. And I mean, it's literally like that. You're like on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off all night. And it'll get to a point to where you'll be getting so angry, you'll want to break stuff. You'll want to hurt people. So one little trick I learned was, well, if you can't do one, you can do the other. But you want to, if you can get a hot bath, go lay in a hot bath. You won't, your body is stuck in hot because of the warm bath. So your body doesn't do the up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. It stays at one until you get out. Like as soon as you get out, you'll have about 15, 20 minutes of ease. But the time you lay in a bath or sit in a hot shower or whatever, and then that 15, 20 minutes, like granted, it's what, a half hour, 45 minutes or something altogether, maybe not that long. That feels so, that's like, it's incredible to get that relief, that type of relief when you're going through so much, because it's not even just that, man, the mental shit that's going on in your brain, like it's shitty, man. It's not just narcotics. Normal psychiatric medication will do that as well. It happens to me when my doctor forget to fill a prescription. Lots of medication will do that, but I'm saying that like the withdrawals can be a little different. Like, you know, I've done a lot of different shit, so I've, you know, had to deal with a lot of different ones, and there's just some that are just so much worse than others. None of them are good. All of them fucking suck. There's no competition. They're all horrible. That's why it sucks that we know we need these things to exist, and I understand why they exist, but a lot of these things were pushed into communities and were made and set up for us to get addicted to shit, and set up for, like, it's when you really like follow the timeline of things and how they were doing things. And you know, when I first started taking pills, they were pushing pills like they were candy, literally. Like every time you went to a doctor, like they were just like giving you Norcos, Percocets, Oxys, whatever you wanted. And you could make so much money off of selling them. So people were doing it left and right. They were fucking like, it was like candy. And then out of nowhere, I don't know if they found out like that the doctors were pushing pills, and I'm sure the pharmaceutical company put them up to it, but then they cut them all off. Well, what do you think's going to happen when you cut off the medication to tens of thousands, millions of people overnight? They're going to resort to going and doing other things, or to other street drugs or whatever. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Just like when they stopped in the USA, we don't do, I don't know if I'm even allowed to talk about this stuff on YouTube, but we don't have Oxycontins anymore. Years ago, a few years ago, Oxycontins were the thing. Like they were like one of the strongest pills you could get, like next to fentanyl, right? Fentanyl is like the top, but you know, oxys were like a really tiny pill, but they were super, super powerful, and people could snort them, shoot them, or just eat them. Well, because people were shooting them and snorting them, they stopped them in the USA. You can't get them in the USA anymore. You can only get OPs. OPs are the same thing, but you can't snort them or shoot them. You have to eat them. And that's the big difference. But once that happened, it turned a lot of people that were just on pills into heroin addicts. They all went to heroin. I took hot showers and just push-ups and sit-ups nonstop and lots of water. Yeah. Yeah. At least they were in the day. Now they're all pressed. Fentanyl. Yeah, I know. Fentanyl, yeah. I mean, I've had my fair share of fentanyl. I don't want to go into reasons why or anything like that, but I had, you know, pretty much unlimited sources to fentanyl for a long time. And yeah, fentanyl is so strong. Like, it's crazy how fucking strong that stuff is. Like, even compared to heroin. Heroin doesn't hold a candle to fentanyl. But once you get addicted to that, your tolerance goes so high that the other stuff barely affects you. That's the problem with it. Your tolerance goes up and up and up and up and up and up to the point to where something that would have killed you last year, literally would have killed you without a shadow of a doubt, now doesn't even get you by. Isn't that crazy? That literally the same thing that would have killed you last year or the year before or whatever, now won't even barely get your sick off. Jared, you don't have to answer, but did you quit cold turkey? Or no, I did Suboxone. I went to a doctor, and that's, you know, it was a blessing that my doctor allowed me to get, because a lot of clinics, they won't allow you to get more than like a small amount. Like they'll be like one a day, and they'll be like a 2 milligram pill a day or something. Mine was like however many you want. You know, so she put me on like the highest dose you'd ever want to take on it. But what that did was that allowed me to get off, and it allowed me to taper myself down fast, right? Like, so I didn't continue taking that many days in, but for the first 5-6 days I did. Then after that, I tapered myself down and I was on just a regular dose. And that allowed me to actually get on the medication and stay on it. And if I would have been in any other rehab with any other doctor or anything like that, it totally wouldn't have happened, because they don't do that. They literally try to limit you to the smallest amount you can possibly take, which literally just forces you back to the streets. But yeah, it's a motherfucker. But yeah, if it wasn't for like Kara and her family, her mother, I mean, fucking, I can't tell you how much they've done for me. Kara's mom, I honestly probably wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for her. She helped me with like all my probation stuff, everything, like all my everything, literally everything, all my schedules and dates and things I had to do that I 1,000,000% would have ran, I 1,000,000% would have failed, I 1,000,000% would have escaped or whatever. I didn't, and you know, she helped me get to them, helped me do them, helped me get to the doctors, to find the doctors, all the stuff. So God bless her, man. It was, like I said, it's definitely a blessing. And when you really look back and you really think about some of the people in your life and, you know, how things played out, you know, sometimes like people are just like angels in your life at certain times. I was on at first 4 or 5 8 milligrams, and I went down to like 3 pretty quickly, and then 2, you know, and then lower and lower. But right off the bat, I was at like a very high dose on purpose. Yeah, no, yeah, there was no reason to stay that high of a dose. Doesn't even make sense, because right. But the point is, though, it's just like, in like my doctor was saying before, you know, you want to get to your cap effect. You know, you want to be the highest. That's the point. That's what I'm saying. Yes, you're saturating your receptors, and you're also and your brain tells you more is better. You know what I mean? That was my wife. No judgment. Definitely saved my life. Now I'm 8 years clean. Good for you, Stone Hands. That's amazing. Good for you. That's for sure. Fentanyl is the silent killer these days. So much is laced with it. They don't have to lace anything with it. I know what you mean. You mean like they're lacing that in everything because it makes it effective, right? Like they can literally sell a bag of fucking baby powder as heroin if they just put a little bit of fentanyl in it. And that's what they're fucking doing. So,
it's in like blow and stuff too, though.
It's in everything. But I went cold turkey from 150 milligrams oxy, Hell of a month withdrawal. Yeah, buddy, man. Suboxone saved my life too, Jared. I was taking between 50 to 60, 10 milligram Norcos a day. It's been 17 years. Good for you. And hey, I know exactly what you mean, man. I remember times I literally took 20 Norcos at one time. And I'm not exaggerating, more than that, 30, 40 of them at one time. I'm not exaggerating either. Like, I'm not just saying that to make it sound like a high number. It was actually probably more than that, because when your body's used to something else, those don't work, right? And you barely get your, like, literally take 50 of them and you're barely getting your sick off. That's what I meant when I said like you know, when you get up to a certain tolerance, everything else, nothing else. Right, oxys are like the smell. Like, so you'll be looking for something and somebody will tell you they got oxys and you're like, fuck that. But you know, hey, but same thing though, when you're on the oxys though, a Norco is not going to do anything for you unless you take a lot of them. Yeah. Carl says, I've been on them for years. Commander says, thank God. Oh, I think the phone is dying, baby. I need my phone. I need it now. Okay. Let me just go over here. You know what? Here, I'll go like this. And then let me just go like, I'm going to use the computer. I'm just going to push them up a little bit. I'm just going to have to look away. Oh, wait, I'm way behind. Well, yeah, I mean, if I get the phone, that'd be great. Trying to catch up, because by the time I fucking catch up, this one's way. Oh, there we go. Okay. Tolerance, bitch of the bunch, because you don't need the poppy plant for fentanyl. Wow, it's been 31 years since my last time. Good for you, man. That's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, God bless, man. God bless. Methadone was almost 2.5 months withdrawal. I wanted to die. I know. I understand. Yeah, that I think with certain things, you say or methadone, and you know, even Suboxone to a large extent. You want to slowly taper yourself until you're like on 5 milligrams.
The half-life for both of them are 72 hours, so Suboxone withdrawal is going to be equally as bad because of the half-life.
I'm
partial agonist versus a full agonist with methadone, but they're both synthetic, and I would say methadone's harder because it's a full agonist. It's affecting both the mu and the alpha.
Yeah, I agree. I'm saying that if you take, like, if you start off, and I'm just shooting numbers out, say if you're taking like 40 milligrams, right, or even 100 milligrams, or even 200 milligrams a day, and you go down to, say, from 100 to 80, and 2 months later go down to 65, then 2 months later go down to 45.
Do not anybody listen to that.
Why? What are you talking about? Or by 5 milligrams, whatever. I'm talking about the first couple.
The most that you should ever even be doing is 10%
oh my God.
of your dose in a month.
What do you think? What do you think 10%? 10% is of 100, baby. That's 10.
That's on the extreme end.
Yeah,
you are better off getting it smaller and succeeding, or slower and succeeding.
Well, either way, my point is just to lower it down, lower and lower and lower. It doesn't matter if it's 5 milligrams or 10 milligrams or 2 milligrams, whatever you can do, lower it down until you can get yourself down to a point of like where you're only taking like 5-10 milligrams. And then at that point, you can lower yourself down to where, because, you know, 2 milligrams of fucking methadone is going to be hard to even, you know, quantum. So, like, how do you take, you know what I mean? It's like, it's such a small, it's like a drip.
Listen, when I tapered from Suboxone, I went down to 0.25 milligrams. You can just keep.
Yeah, but that's a pill.
Well, it was a strip. But,
the strip, same thing.
I know, I'm saying liquid, you can quantify to the teeniest, tiniest of doses.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is that to have it in a bottle, right?
And it's actually distributed evenly. Whereas strips and pills, you don't actually know that you're getting, like, the reason why it says on Suboxone to not cut it and stuff is because you don't actually know that you're getting all of the medicine in the right side of the thing.
Okay,
it can be unevenly distributed.
Okay, what I'm saying is that if I took the bottles that they come in and I put one eye drop into that fucking bottle, it's going to be difficult for you to get it out. Yeah, you're going to have to rinse it. Right, and that's why I just said it's hard to even, like, that's what I was talking about. Like, it's such a small amount that's going to be in there. It's going to be hard to even, like, see it. That was my point. But anyways, but once you can get down to that, then you could just stay on that for a while, right? But then when you get off of that, it'll be so much easier. The withdrawals won't be nowhere near as bad. You'll be fine. And you can take some other stuff to help, you know. But yeah, it's tough, man.
It's actually easier at the beginning to drop big chunks, obviously.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
I know, at the end when you're saying you can stay on that for a while, that's where people fuck up, is they keep the same pace. Even if they drop down less and less, they keep this fast pace.
See, we got the new flags. Yeah, no, I know. I think that you should. I think the worst thing to do is to force yourself to rush, because that's just going to lead to the worst. I think the best thing to do is literally don't give yourself a timeline. Just give yourself, maybe some like schedules of like, okay, every 2 months, and don't be like fast, like, well, every 2 days I'm going to lower. Don't do that. Do like every 2 months or every month or something, I'm going to lower, because then what that'll do is it'll allow it to where you're going to be fine with the dose you're on. You're not going to have dramatic jumps that put you into withdrawals. You won't ever be able to. So the best way is for you not to go through with significant withdrawals.
Because people don't realize that even in a taper, you would think that your brain would say, oh, I feel sick, let me just take more of this medicine. But some people, that sickness is so associated with the dope that they'll run out and go relapse instead of just taking more.
And Clavid says, yeah, I didn't even get my last 5 milligram dose of methadone. I just left. I owed them like $800. Hey, they not getting because they didn't help shit. Kratom helped me. I've heard that from a lot of people. I've never really done it like that. I've had it, but I never did it.
So don't take it if you're on methadone. You can knock that shit right off your receptors.
It's hard watching just one body language. Impatience, mystery, impatience, mystery, sheesh. Yeah. So glad those years are long behind. Same here. I went down 5 milligrams every 2 weeks. There you go. That's a quick taper, but it's also, it's a very small taper, so that's good. Because you barely will notice 5. Especially if you're on a high dose, you won't notice 5. It's been about 8 years and I don't miss, and me neither. Like fucking, if I sleep and I have a dream, which I don't do anymore, but if I ever do have a dream of like drugs, I literally will wake up. Well, in my dream, I am so angry. I'm so sad. I'm so upset. I feel like I just ruined my life. And then when I wake up, I'm literally so grateful. Like I wake up and I'm like, thank God that was a dream. But at first, when you're first getting off, you can't not dream about it. You're dreaming about it constantly. And every time you're glad you're dreaming about it because you want to use in your dream, but you never can get to it. And it's always shitty. And then you wake up feeling even more like shit because now you just spent your whole dream chasing drugs that you were never able to obtain. And now you wake up and you are really sick. And now you got to go and chase drugs. There's nothing, man. There's nothing good about that, man. It's a mental fuck that, yeah, that, like I said, man, that's something that makes me angry. And when I wake up, I am so grateful. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. We've been on here for a long time tonight. I had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. Like I said, big giveaway coming very soon. I don't think I'm going to do the actual giveaway till like the 1st or something, but we're going to post the video. I'm not sure what day, I forget, but we have a bunch of really cool ones. We do have a drop bear in here. Somebody asked earlier. Yes, there is a drop bear in here. A Nitro V-Blade one. I didn't know they did that. Huh. That's cool. Anyways, so yeah, that's going to be really cool. And all 11 knives are going to go to one person. And we also, this weekend is a members live. So Saturday, like I said, we might do it Friday night. or Saturday, like late afternoon. Like it's not going to be super, it won't be late though. So hopefully you guys can show up. I did think about setting up the giveaway a little different with the members so that every member could always enter every giveaway. We might start just doing that. We might start doing just like an entry video. So all you gotta do is just go leave a comment, but that way everybody can enter regardless if you're there or not, because it's not fair for members to not be able to show up. I've never heard of Kratom helping anything. Surprised, but makes sense because it fucks with body chemistry. Yeah, like I said, I never really used it, but I knew a lot of people that did, and some people, man, some people like really speak on it, like they love it. But whatever, yeah, whatever works, right? Our bodies are different, so all right, guys, love you guys. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.